Our presentation style has been described by most as extremely intense and at times very combative. A lot of you are very likely going to be triggered tonight by the things you're going to hear us say during this podcast. We give all glory to the Father Yahawah forever. His will be done. We can't tell you anything more than the truths we've witnessed. We will show you the evidence, and the fact of the matter is, the truth itself, by its very nature, is a roaring lion seeking whom it will devour, because it wages war against all forms of deception and mind control. We do not present this information to be liked or to be popular or to make money or to make friends. Here we stand as witnesses on earth for the truth, for the widow, and for the weak. We recognize that the choices set before us have eternal consequences, and it's our duty to share the truth with you that we have compiled. We fight so that people can have the information, because the best way to empower someone is to give them all the information. Tonight, we are here to witness to the truth. Thank you for tuning in, and may the Father's will be done.
Can you break your crumbling idols and push them pieces into the sea? Can I trust you to keep a secret I have loved in the face of God?
on purpose?
I didn't take I studied outside of college. I studied in college.
Oh, the black arts.
I wasn't.
So you were in a black arts academy.
Yes, that must be it.
Exposed.
I guess I've been confused this whole time. And we've got Karen B. Karen, welcome. Are you wearing a tiara? I can't really tell.
I am wearing, actually, this is a crystal crown.
Very witch-like. All right,
Yes.
so we're all playing the part.
I wanted to make sure I had my crystal crown and my crystal balls. You know, I'm all ready to cast all kinds of spells this evening.
I've got my Book of the Dead here. I'm going to pay homage to Aleister Crowley, who RV says maybe is my god, because that makes a lot of sense.
And this is who you are.
Ain't nobody stopping. Ain't nobody stopping.
And I was muted. We are live on the Awake Souls channel. It is awesome to be back here. How are you doing, brother?
I am amazing. Thank you everyone for tuning in. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. I was cramming really hard to get in a whole bunch of links for tonight, so I'm a little bit frazzled because I've been working to try to get as much together as possible. It's
not frazzled.
Well, it's a lot, brother. It's a lot. We're going to be going through so much tonight, and super important stuff. Mm-hmm. We're going to be taking down the Church of Satan, the top guys in the guys that are in the truthers scene but aren't playing for the right team. So
yeah,
let's hear from you, brother. What's on your mind about tonight?
Just to kick this off, it's interesting how we've got most of the old gang back. We've got Dan Pratt, Patricia Steer. Who we don't have back yet is Robbie Davidson and a few other characters that could show up. What's remarkable is that I'm still alive, right? I'm waiting for Passio to show up here and show me his natural law of toughness. I'm still breathing. I'm still speaking truth. I'm ready to fight for truth. And there's absolutely nothing that any of the Church of Satan members will ever be able to do to stop that, right? Your spells, whatever you guys want to do is weak. It's weak. So I'm looking forward to tonight to be going to. So what we're going to be going through is more of this controlled drama division, right? So we're going to be going through these different videos. I don't know if you wanted to give the run up to that. I'll throw it back to you in a second. Like, I just want to continue to let everybody know that you're in a spiritual war right now, right? The war is being fought on the internet, right? We didn't know that this is the way that it was going to happen, but well, I kind of did. And I've been preparing for 8 years, documenting, timestamping, making videos. We've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos against all the people that we're going to be discussing tonight, because lo and behold, I was able to identify these people as Satanists. I was the first one that came out and said that Globebusters was promoting 5 things for Satan. Right? It blew the doors off. Everyone, this guy's saying Satan, this and that. And I said, yes, I absolutely am. And I'm still saying it today. The only difference is we have a mountain of evidence. This is ridiculous. So I'm just thankful that the whole team decided to show up. I want to send a direct message to every single person that's going to be watching tonight that's playing for Team Satan. You're all a bunch of coward bitches. Why don't you own what you are instead of putting backhanded messages with videos from 4 years ago proclaiming Aleister Crowley? Why don't you come out like I do and proclaim it? My creator, Yahawahashai, is the creator of everything, including you and the breath in your lungs. And I'm embarrassed to say that. Right? When people start saying they don't want to talk about which Elohim they serve or which president they voted for, you have absolutely chaos. I'm here for truth, honesty, and everything in between. What I'm not here for is lies and deceptions. The truth should always be free, will always be free, and anyone that stands in opposition to it will be torn to pieces from roaring lion truth. I'll throw it back to you. But truth is free. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're going to hear so much stuff tonight. This is just going to be a timestamp bonanza. We we've got hundreds and hundreds of timestamps. We're going to be going through the content that's specifically between there's two factions now within Flat Earth. What we have it divided by is supposedly Christianity and non-Christianity, although you're going to see that that doesn't really hold true. So the one side is RV, it's RFB, it's Jake the Asshole, and I'm going to put Zoom Truth in because there's only 4 channels that are going against the main core of the fake flat earthers. Those are the ones that promote the Freemason New World Order AE map and model. It's circular, there's an ice wall, dome, no dome, infinite plane, many ponds, all this kind of stuff. That group of people right there versus, they're segregating right now between them and the people that supposedly believe in Christ. And so they're going to be saying that RV is the path that you have to go if you're a Christian flat earther. And we're going to be showing you that this is all same team, hashtag same team. They're all Freemasons, and then they're trying to subdivide within their own group. And here we are watching this whole thing where, like Ronnie said, we've got so many timestamps. We're just going to be going through their content tonight, playing their words. Now we've got years and years and years of content and all these people where we've already called them out on these things when they happened. Now here we are like 3 and 4 years later on some of this stuff. So this is just a fresh batch of division, and we've been there for it each time, where when it was Eric DeBay fighting against Pat and Mark, and when it was, this divide and this divide, each time we were showing that this is fake division among same team, and here we're getting an extra big dose of it right now. But it's getting more serious because, like Jake the Asshole says, Flat Earth is being weaponized right now. It's being used to, if you don't go along with certain New World Order agendas right now, you're being labeled a Flat Earther, like that's being an idiot. But that actually means that you're a truther, and we're going to be backing all that up tonight.
Yeah, what they did with Mac Parhar, we went through. If you go to the Limitless channel and you see that hangout, what they did was the Church of Satan infiltrated into the truther movement. Go figure, they set up guys to be truthers. And what they do is just mock the truth, mock the people fighting for the truth, and do the best that they can to cause division and then quit, be ostriches, right? So one update, Mark Passio has started unprivating videos, and he republished a documentary. There's an absolute joke. I don't know who gave this guy some kind of priesthood ordainship, but if he wants to come and debate, he could debate Jason. He could debate me. We can debate on every single point that he teaches, right? It's absolute garbage. So, and Rose 777 shared the video, and I thought Rose 777 was a flat earther, but it's heliocentric, right? All of Kabbalism is centered around heliocentrism. That is the Kabbalists' religion, right? Wake up, newsflash, right? They're the ones that promote the ball. If you look at Mark Passio, the ordained Anton LaVey Church of Satan priest, and white this, that, all these other different places, he's the one that's out here leading the charge. He was the one telling everyone to, mock and put down all the people that are speaking truth, called them all retards, flipped out, quit in August, right, of 2018 and 2020, and go figure, Richie from Boston, his main channel, boom, that same month, the 28th. He was the 18th. Richie quit on the 28th. Now, Richie from Boston is going to be brought up tonight. We are well acquainted with Richie. The absolute amount of hypocriticalism that you're going to hear tonight is skyrocketing. If there was a ceiling, we are busting through it tonight with hypocrites, liars, people that in their very own sentence, continue to switch back with the opposite of the direction, right? With the 180, right? This is what we're going to be seeing tonight. The thing that really, Jason, the thing that really grabs me is I'm not afraid to proclaim who I serve, right? It's something I will do to the death. How is it that someone on the other side of the scene wants to say, oh, I believe in a creator, but I'm not going to tell you who it is? Right? When someone asks them, hey, you have a teaching channel, you sell things, why don't you tell me who it is that you serve? When you have someone come back at you and say, no, I'm not going to fuck you, right? That's what David Weiss said, did he not? Fuck you to Russian vids when he asked him. Pardon my language. This is definitely going to be an adult night, right? Just to let everybody know, if you have kids in the listening area, there will be cuss words, and I'm using them to paraphrase what you're going to be hearing tonight, right? When somebody asks you who you serve, you should be able to answer that right away. So all the time, Satanists talk about, oh, if you go into the white light, this or that. If anybody comes to me proclaiming to be any kind of spiritualist, any kind of angel of light, anything that comes to me, the first question that comes out of my mouth is, who do you serve? That is the first thing that comes out of my mouth. And if whatever answers me and does not have an answer, I instantly know that it'll be destroyed. There's absolutely no power in it, because anyone that's a coward, anyone that doesn't stand up for what they believe in, is already weakened and dead. They're dead, walking dead people, right? We're only having to deal with this because it's been a culmination of 8 years or more of investigations into the truth movement. That's what we've been doing. Both Jason and I have been actively fighting against all the lies and deception. Tonight, I don't have to bang the desk. All I have to do is just mock the crap out of these weak, coward people that proclaim to be people of the truth out of one side of their mouth, and then lie and deceive and try to sell you things out of the other side of the mouth. You're going to hear this all night. And again, Jason and I do not do this for views. We do not do this for likes. We do want to have comments in the comment section. We want to have to hear other people's opinions. That we do. We don't do this for money. You never, ever sell the truth. That's the quickest way to the pit of hell, because the truth is free. It stands outside of man. And therefore, if you sell the truth, you become a hypocrite, right? Because nobody that is of truthfulness would ever want to gain anything other than sharing the truth. That's how this works. Again, all these people tonight, they're all yoked up. They're all together. We've been tying the connections together to the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey proteges, right? And they're all weak ass cowards. Everything that they bring up is a joke. I can just sit back, brother. I know we're going to go through these links. And again, put it out there, if there was some way to settle this truth war, if we could have the other team stop, right? Or me stop, if all of them want to come here, every person that's in this podcast, you can line up at our end of our driveway, and I'll fight each one of you one at a time. And whoever wins, right, the other team has to go away for eternity, right? I'm absolutely ready to go. If you guys want to have an intellectual debate, we will do it anywhere at any time. Jason willing. I'm offering my ability to debate anybody on any of the topics of the truth. And I look forward to it. I welcome it. Again, if anybody wants to have physical combat, which I'm not for, but if you show up here and you want to physically combat me, the winner gets to continue to share truth. The loser has to go away for eternity. That's my offer to all of you Church of Satan members that believe that you know who God is, that you'll call God, right? Come on down to Texas, Austin, Texas. We're waiting. I'm waiting. I don't need anyone.
Yeah, so to back up a few things Ronnie talked about, like tonight we didn't work to advertise that we were going live early, because we're hoping for a smaller, more intimate group of people, because we know that based on the fact that we cover these shills, the shills want to come in and troll the chat and all that kind of stuff. So we're happy to have the smaller crowd and be able to get this information out. We're just going to be going through their timestamps. Ronnie also touched on this idea of what God do you serve. I mean, we've been showing how fundamental this is all along. We've exposed how God is a Germanic paganism that was introduced 600 years after Christ. And so it's God real is what God is. So we ask a person, what God do you serve? What's that God's name? Because God's not the name. It's absolutely generic. Anything can be a God. So to pinpoint somebody on actually what God do you serve, it's fundamental. The idea that you wouldn't pin somebody down on that is ludicrous. I don't want to spend time with somebody if who they serve is Satan, because they're wrong team. So I don't know, is there anything else you want to get into? Should we get into screen shares? We got a lot of links to go through.
Yeah, well, the only other opposition to either Team Satan or, Team Yahawahashai, the true creator of the living spirits of breath, you have atheism. And like instantaneously, as soon as someone comes at me and says they're an atheist, I just have to ask them how they got here, right? And they obviously can't use the Big Bang evolution theory, because I can poke holes in it more than Swiss cheese from Wisconsin, right? They got no chance in debating against me in a heliocentric versus Yahawahashai's creation. Okay, I can throw it down. Jason can too. But again, yeah, we're just going to be playing their words. Their words are what's going to convict and condemn them, not my words. I will add in my suppositions or my thoughts on the topics as we go through. Their own symbols, their own words, their own actions, everything. It's almost as if they're just trying to come out, but like cowardly spew out who they are, but they just don't have the absolute strength to become like who it is that they are. They just like come out and just sniffling, I might be a witch or whatever. 33. They do all this stuff. They do all the sick stuff, all the mind control, all the Tavistock programming. It's so weak though. Like it does work on the sheep. But yeah, I'm ready, brother. Whatever it is that you want to do.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into screen share mode. I'm just getting a few things set up here so that you should be able to see.
Yeah, I can see clearly. Thank you. 2020, 2021, right? 1 second. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. We're definitely sandboxed and whatever. We don't even care. If you get anything out of this podcast, leave a comment below. Share it if you can. We barely get shared, so whatever. We don't do this for likes. We don't do this for anything else other than to document the truth. And everybody on the other side of the screen already knows. I'm sure you guys are enjoying it. Hopefully you got your popcorn ready and whatever other treats you cowards enjoy. Get cracking. Pop it.
The Kraken. You're not going to start talking about the Kraken now, are you?
That's something that I definitely enjoyed.
All right. So, I don't know. There's so much to go through. For people that don't know what's going on here, what's happening is there's a bunch of OGs in Flat Earth that are fighting with each other. And so RV, Richie from Boston, we're going to go through and we're going to give you some details about these guys, their history with Flat Earth, all that kind of stuff. Now what they're doing is they're causing rifts within Flat Earth by calling out top brass like David Weiss, Pat Steer, Jeranism, and a whole bunch of others. We're going to go through and we're going to show that all these people are same team. All these people. So I think the best place to get started is with going through RV's live streams. I've got timestamps for 2 of his live streams. And then I've got 2 Jake the Asshole streams. And then I've got 2, possibly 3. We'll see how far we get along with it.
Yeah, this could be like a 10-hour stream.
Yeah, right? Streams from Jeranism.
Well, I mean, we have hundreds of videos documenting everything that these people said for like 6 years, all of them, every one of them. I was on Patricia Steer, so I tried to be a friend of Jaren's, right? Then we had our falling out over Jaren wanting to promote lies, right? It's all documented. And that's the great thing.
So I'm going to run this with chat up from RV. This is Hangout. This is podcast number 45, DITRH, and High Impact Flicks Exposed. This is where he's coming out. He's coming hard against these guys. My first timestamp is at 42 seconds. Let me get that queued up. And let's start checking this out.
Who I call low impact flicks, Brian Young. And this is going to be a blockbuster. So even though, like I said, people are like, oh, this, RV, he's causing trouble. He's a troublemaker. No, you guys are going to see something like, wow, this is undeniable. And you guys are going to go over to his channel. Once it's all said and done, you're going to go over there and unsub both of them. And mainly, you're going to unsub David Weiss, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. And this needs to be done. He asked for it, he's getting it. And we'll get into that.
All right. So the unsubbing, he's telling people you're going to hear some evidence that you have to go unsub. Now, it's really not, it's not bad advice. Shoot, I got
No, it's great advice. Actually, you couldn't tell anyone any better advice. I'll give that to Benny.
All right, everyone. Thanks for holding tight.
I'm sorry, I had to refresh this.
That's all right. Rewind.
We'll get back to that beginning again.
Everybody, make sure you got your popcorn ready. Tonight's going to be interesting.
All right, so our next timestamp is at 1:28.
Thanks for everyone out there listening in. And I want to thank you so much, brother Richie from Boston. He took a walk. He's back.
I was taking.
All right. He took the walk. Now he's back. You are going to see as we go through this that Pat Steer does the exact same move when Pat came in. So this get up, walk around thing is a thing with these guys. Now Richie's got two pairs of shades on, and somebody's pointed out already that that's 3 eyes, 3 and 3. Right. Let's jump to 210. Now, this is going to be tough with having the chat alongside because I don't get much room.
No, if anyone's interested, if you search on my channel, Ronnie from Bancroft, you might get a funny video where I troll this guy. Pretty funny. That was fun to make.
All right, I think I'm going to have to take the chat out so I have a little bit more room for scrolling.
I just want you to get your perspective, everything that's been going on, all the nonsense with the peddler of hot dog steamers, Brian Young, low impact flicks.
Why is that funny?
Yeah, the peddler of hot dog steamers.
So, we're already getting into Peter files. That's pretty quick. What are we, 2 minutes and 22 seconds into the podcast here, and we're getting accusations of Peter files.
Yeah, so I'm going to refer to them as pedometers. And we're going to go through a bunch of stuff where my pedometer is going to go off like an alarm. My pedometer is going to warn me that something is amiss.
I just want to say too as well, everything that we do that we document for the truth is we do this for everybody. If you're meeting up with these people, you have anything to do with these people, I feel obligated to the truth to share this information with you guys. So you can hear what these people are talking about. You can hear their own words. These aren't things that Jason and I made them say, because the only recourse that these shills have is, well, you only clipped the bad things I said, right? That's the only thing that they can say. Well, unfortunately, you spoke these words. All these people tonight spoke these words, not us. We're just documenting it for truth's sake.
All right, so here we have a clip of Richie.
In one of the 2 years where they were targeting me and smoking me every night. She said one night it looked like I was levitating off the bed. And my biggest concern was, how did you not get that on video? Do you know what I mean? Like Richie from Boston levitating in the middle of the night. Get that on video. And she didn't. So,
yeah.
She's probably...
So this got talked about. Apparently, these Satanists do witchcrafty things where they try to levitate. And when he was told that he was seen levitating, he's like, really upset that wasn't recorded. So it is RV and Richie that are being really placed at the top of the Christian flat earthers now. Everybody else is gone.
Put on the full armor of God. Pray. There's that.
So these are the two guys.
That's what Richie says. That's your Christianity from Richie. Put your full armor of God on. He doesn't even know what it is.
All right, we've got RV coming up here.
Yeah, just want to throw this up there real quick since you're on the topic of Ike and of course, Low Impact Flicks was trying to defend him like it was his boyfriend.
It was strange.
Yeah, it was really bizarre, and it's basically.
So we do have the reference to the boyfriend right away.
And the word bizarre as well is satanic.
Pushing attention to others takes attention off of him.
Right.
Strategic, obviously. But he kept saying, we're all sons of God, but he called himself the Son of God, which is a huge difference.
And that's exactly why he was on the television. They didn't just have him on television randomly, like here's some random dude. They had him on television because he was going around everywhere saying that he was the reincarnate Son of God. He was the Son of God, just like the title.
Gotta pause. So it's interesting that we're hearing reincarnation spoken about here. That's something to note.
Yeah, it is. So it's coming out of their mouths. We'll jump ahead to 824.
Now, with both David Weiss and Low Impact Flicks, they thought it was like, oh, Brian's going to be back. David's going to be married. No, this is going to basically expose both of them. And if you want to continue on the as far as Brian's concerned, or if not, I'm going to go right into what led to this as far as what David's concerned.
No.
So this right here is RV saying this is what led to me calling out David Weiss. All right, so let's see what was so important. It starts at 1240.
The window didn't open. Okay, there we go with this one. Now, this is the point. Okay, like we're talking about, we're going to create a firestorm, create some issues with some people. But hey, nothing that, some things that just don't come so easy in this world. And when the dust settles, people are going to know again who's who. Now that gets this clip. It's a very short clip, but it's going to be very relevant to this whole. Like I said, everything that's in society is divide and conquer. Religions, of course, skin colors, you name it, politics, working classes, truth versus lies is a huge one. And I knew this right from the start. Flat Earth is the truth, but it's also a huge divide. And it's like when you watch some of these characters that you see on YouTube that jumped out of the woodwork out of nowhere, Richie. Well,
nowhere.
Out of nowhere in 2015, they're not organic. They're put there. And that's what I'm getting at. The majority of truthers are definitely controlled. And anybody that can't see, they're just blind. But let's get right to it.
All right.
True.
Majority of truthers are controlled. He points out how all these people just popped onto the scene and had all this backing. Absolutely true. Guys like Jaron all of a sudden show up with the channel. What was his starting amount? I never saw less than
15,000.
Yeah, he started with 15,000. Patricia just out of nowhere, all of a sudden, boom.
She didn't really get that quick, but she was put in place.
Let's go to 1405.
I'm not asking for the moon here. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a projection, right?
So after I heard him say that in that video, after we did our stream, and of course you guys can see that on the screen itself with Richie the first time we went live, I showed this in a text to David Weiss. And here's his response. And, I don't usually share text at all. This is I don't show phone numbers or personal stuff. I don't get involved with that. But this is his response. He took a shot at you and Richie from Boston. I said, during the video, he mocked you, calling the moon a projection. And this is David's response. I never say the moon is a projection. I say, I don't know what the moon is. So I'm going to expose David as a liar and the fraud that he is. And just take a listen here. He's just ridiculous, the things he says. And I catch people because, I do research, David. You forget that. I'm a researcher, a truth teller. And just take a listen to what he says here. He says he never said the moon's a projection. Well, out of David's own mouth.
This is easy.
Hold on.
You don't believe in. And then the true source is beyond the dome. And during a solar eclipse, we can see it. I'm going to pull up a video of how these eclipses happen. And it has to do with the sun and the moon that we see are actually being projected inside of the dome, which
There you go. The sun and the moon are being projected inside of the dome. And again, this is his text. So, David, get your act together. Don't send me nonsense when I know.
So, the most important thing that I can throw down here is that both Jason and myself have filmed multiple times, clouds behind the sun and the moon, behind it, right? So anybody that thinks there's something being projected in from outside of some magical dome, beyond some magical ice wall that doesn't exist, you're wrong, right? We actually have footage documented with clouds in front of and behind the sun and the moon at the same time.
So this right here is RV's huge smash of David Weiss, where you're lying. You did say it's a projection, right? And then the way the way RV phrases this is that projections aren't biblical. So if you're going to talk about the sun, moon, and stars being a projection, he's saying that's not biblical. But eventually we're going to see RV promote what he calls the biblical flat earth. And it's the Freemason New World Order AE map and model that we've shown is absolutely like stupid impossible.
Not biblical. It doesn't have four corners.
Doesn't have four corners.
It's ridiculous. It's a circle, an AE map. The debunk of it is obviously all you have to do is sail around Antarctica, which has been done. They have a race around it all the time. It's not even something that's difficult to find. And that's how ridiculous the AE map is, easily debunked. Just that one thing alone.
This section keeps going.
Know what you say, okay? So this is the problem. He's pushing the sun and the moon outside the dome. And obviously this is not biblical. Right here with the firmament, the Bible verse where it states, and God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And we'll get into that more with David. And bottom line, it says, and God set them in the firmament, not outside, David, not outside the firmament, not a projection, inside the firmament. So this is huge, Richie. What people need to understand is people are like flat earthers, people involved with truth. They're looking for heroes, but they're not paying attention to these fine details.
All right. The fine detail is this, that it's Ronnie and I that have been exposing for the last 4 years that all the people that promote this AE map and model where it's circular, it's an ice ring around the outside, regardless if you have a dome on it or you call it an infinite plane, it's impossible because this has the sun, moon, and stars rotating around a single polar point, and Earth's sun, moon, and stars rotate around two polar points. So the map has to be stereographic. Then all of a sudden you get your four corners back. There is no dome. It proves that we're in a simulation. It all of a sudden fits together real nice and simple, but all these guys are promoting the Freemason New World Order AE map and model, except we're going to be going through Jake the Asshole coming up, who is somebody that has also come out of that group and exposed that the Freemason New World Order AE map and model is impossible. Let's see, we're at 1643. Let's go to 1850.
Is the Christ. So that is huge clips. There's not too many more to play. Just two more clips from David himself. So take a listen here. This is very important.
Maybe another 10,000 miles away, there's another puddle. Maybe there's a million other puddles, right? With a million other worlds all across the Earth plane.
Hold on.
So he's pushing, obviously.
That's heliocentrism. It's Kabbalism, right? Kabbalism, heliocentrism, right there. Dave's the new heliocentrist. We've been saying it for years. It's retarded. We only talk about what we can prove, what's verifiable, what we can witness with our own eyes.
All right, let's jump ahead to 2038.
What he says here. And again, there are all these occultists. We know Dubé and a lot of these people are involved in the occult. Just take a listen to what is said here. People, their heads are going to explode when they hear this, that haven't heard this from David's own mouth. Take a listen.
This doesn't necessarily.
Sure, I believe, I understand actually, mind control and programming of people and the ability to manipulate people, because I actually used to do hypnosis on people. I was very good at it, and it's very simple.
He talks about...
It's just as simple as making a hypnotic logo or some such.
That's exactly what we're getting at.
But I digress.
No, brother. I'm glad you jumped in, because So we all know this. Hypnosis is a trance, like a mental state, which people experience increased attention, concentration, suggestible ability there. And basically, this is the logo they always use for.
I just wanted to let you know that this clip runs until 25:41. So just stop me anytime in here if you see something.
I get to stop right now.
Okay.
Well, I mean, so just because he said on that interview that he was a hypnotist, and hypnotists do use this logo, right? The main thing that I want to point out here is that this is also associated with Peter files, right? This is their logo, the spiral. It's also relates back to a bunch of other witchcraft. It's the black and the white, right? You completely see that David Weiss is exactly who he says he is.
Yeah, so when I see this type of stuff, my pedometer, I get an alert from it.
We all know this.
Sports Center, CNN, everything uses that logo. The spinning. It looks like a CERN spinning.
Yes. So that gets
CERN's
to
a
what you
joke.
just said, Richie. That's exactly what he has, this hypnotic logo. And also, besides the hypnotic logo.
I never noticed that, dude.
Yeah, it's right there. And what is this?
666
a
too.
lot of connections here. But take a look here.
Right there. It's a
So we
6.
look
I
here,
don't know how anyone
people
can't
need
see
to
it.
understand signs and symbols with all
666.
these
Right there.
people.
Boom. Good.
So this is the
Prove it.
Yeah, prove it. Yeah, prove it. But here's the thing is, so this is that TV show, Park Avenue 666, the same identical hypnotic, and this is basically a surf.
Yeah, so RV's, he's calling it out. He's got his go-tos. We're using his to show everybody. Each team is taking their shots at each other and exposing them back and forth. We're going to be going from this team to the other team, and they're really going to expose each other super, super well. You can learn a lot tonight.
Serpent as well, the coil of a serpent, these stairways, that's what it represents. Just like the snakes at the Vatican. This is from the Vatican, their staircase, and all the symbolism on the side here as well. So here's the thing is, for those that don't know, David Weiss did an interview with CNN. And you guys can read this all you want. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Just, a phone interview with David Weiss about becoming a flat earther. And
that's significant, getting a phone interview with CNN when you're supposed to be a flat earther and 9/11 a witness, right?
Well, we've been saying over and over again, if you're on the mainstream media, you are working for the Church of Satan, right? Who's the power of the principality of the air, right? Answer me that. Where do the television signals go?
And he says, I'll just say this. He goes, would you want to wake up in the morning and want everybody to think you're an idiot? So, he's pushing that bad stigma as well. So understand, when people are going to be confused. What's going on here? Why is he putting this truth out? They want to divide. This is the truth.
Not true.
They want to divide.
divide.
They're going to have their control puppets. And definitely
There you
David
go.
Weiss deep inside the rabbit hole. That's exactly what he is. So he did his interview with CNN, just like David's logo. What do you see? That hypnotic. And this is also an eye. It's a dual symbolism with Time Warner Cable, which created, of course, CNN, Ted Turner. So again, you have the hypnotic serpent-like feature with the eye. So it's dual symbolism, like I said.
It's worse than that.
And that gets back to people that haven't been around for a while. That gets to his first logo that I ever seen. And that's, of course, deep inside the rabbit hole, the mirror reflection, the white rabbit. Now look close. I'm going to get a little bit of a close-up here. And I recall his excuse. Everybody's, not just me knowing it. People are pointing this out before. What's up with the 666 on the edges? And again, the white rabbit, the mirror reflection.
Dude, with the hypnotic tail. Oh, my.
So
hypnotic tail.
Excuse-
That's all they're going to say about this image. That's it. So
they're going to call out a little bit more about it, but what do you see, brother?
Well, okay, it's disgusting. First off, right? I wouldn't allow these men around my family. Any of them, except I could see them at all times. The bunny rabbit symbol with the snake spiraling Peter files symbol. Look what it's centered on. Like, everything about this screams Sodom and Gomorrah. It's absolutely putrid, right? Plus the mirror symbolism, right? Which is how witches do scribery, and your screen, they're trying to manifest witchcraft on you. That's what David's doing here. And it's not even the like get some like different animals and make something and then boil it and say something. No, he's literally making an image, an idol that he's drawn. And he's obviously worshiping demonic forces through it. And it's really gross.
Well, and he's got the Guy Fawkes mask and he's got all the sixes going around. But there's more.
This was, some random kid sent it to him and he started using it.
It's also in the BB of the rabbit in the hole.
Came from a
There's
kid.
a 6-6 and a backward 6. I just noticed it now.
Yeah, it's all here. And no
He called it the BB.
kid's going to create this. It's just like John Lennon saying his 5-year-old kid made the Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, picture. So that gets back to this whole symbolism. We know this was Skeebers, and this is all Masonic, okay? And people that are, on the Weiss bandwagon, you need to jump off. Okay?
We were screaming this when Mark when Mark Sargent started promoting this. Right away, we came out and said this is a first-degree apprentice Freemason hand sign. We were screaming it. We don't want anything to do with this. That doesn't mean that the Earth is flat, right? You could have just put both your arms out as wide as you could, like the horizon. That would have been the flat Earth sign that I chose. No, these wicked demons chose the Freemason first-degree hand sign just to mock people that don't know what's going on, because that's all they can do because they're weak.
There's still a minute left in this clip.
The symbols, signs and symbols. And here you go. Why would he be standing on a ladder backwards like this? The ladders are not just randomly left here in place. And the 2 coronas.
Well, so the nice thing is RV can actually give us the explanation. So we've heard that this is Freemasonic, but he's going to show us how it is coming up.
Which are basically the corona is 33. And this is exactly what you're seeing here. Standing backwards. And this represents.
So I didn't know that part of it.
Well, there it is.
Yep. Backwards up their ladder.
So again, what we're telling you guys on the other side of the screen is the Cerveza thing that's going on right now, right? It's the Church of Satan who sits enthroned above Freemasonry, because the Church of Satan are Kabbalists. They believe they have the highest truth in the world, right? And they worship heliocentrism, and they think they're gods, right? They think the same lie that God real told Eve. He's still telling them the same thing, and these fools are taking it. They're taking it. They're going to go straight to the pit with it. And Jason and I are going to stand right beside them the whole way through. Hey, this is the truth. Come this way, right? The Creator loves you. He doesn't want to see you do this, But definitely, I'm glad that Benny Russian Videos did this video and broke this down. We know that it's the Tavistock controlled demolition, because whoever's fighting for truth, they want to divide and destroy you. I started in the truth movement in 2013, and this has happened multiple times, probably 5 times. Each time the community got strong, albeit Flat Earth is weak as F right now, right? But this isn't just Flat Earth. We got Richie is a prepper. We got Russian Vids does the movies, I guess, or he talks about wrestling and stuff. Then you got the Church of Satan team, Jaren, right? The what do they call themselves? Aleister Crowley worshippers. All these different groups now are, because they're not getting any views, I guess, they're starting this controlled demolition, which is to actually destroy anybody that's actually looking and fighting for truth. And the entire thing, once we leave this team, it's all just advertising. Buy this, buy that, check these sites out. Look what I'm selling here, right? So
yeah, we got a little bit more in this clip.
Presents the stairway to heaven. And again, standing backwards. There's you guys can look online. There's many photos of the ladder and standing backwards, because this is a law of reversal, doing things opposites, like almost pointing your back away from heaven. So people might say, it's a stretch. People love to say the word stretch because they're in denial.
All right. So that's finally the end of that clip. Let's go to 2704.
Truth, but he's not given the biblical flat earth truth. He said he's not a Christian.
The other, you just said about the CNN thing being the spiral and the all-seeing eye, 2 things at once.
Yeah, let me get to that.
Well, his symbol actually is 2. They use a watch, a stopwatch to hypnotize you, or they use the spiral, and he's got them both. Yeah. I never even noticed that, dude, ever. Yeah, I had him on one time, and then I stopped. dealing with him after he went on Alex Jones because he was telling me,
went on
I'm
Alex
going on Alex Jones to get the message out. And I'm like, Alex Jones isn't a turncoat. Alex Jones has been since day one. Alex Jones told us that his family was CIA. He is the dude in the Illuminati card deck that's the agent in place. He's the one that brings everybody to kind of the truth and then brings them off over to Trump world.
So David on CNN and Alex Jones, and you even got guys like RFB that can call that out.
Wow.
Right? Let's go to 2806.
The FE clown show, the full video's there. David's being grilled. He's just flat out lying, pun intended. He's being called out big time. And I'm glad that video's still available. He's shaking like a leaf, trying to answer questions. Things are not adding up. He says he knows people that supposedly passed on that day. He doesn't know where they work, doesn't know much about them. Then they ask for a photo. He produces this garbage.
That guy looks like a midget. Well, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. His head's regular and the rest of his body is.
And
unless he's leaning backwards on a ladder. That's why the picture.
All right. So he was asked to provide proof that his buddy was in the towers and died there. And this is what Dave was able to produce. That was it. 2944.
Vids at all, and we knew it previously because we've done this before. We're calling out people who are misleading you. I'm not going to get together with people that aren't legit, people that are here just to make money, people that are shilling, people that are disinfo, or people that are COINTELPRO. That's what we're trying to tell you. I had Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole on. I had two of the doctors.
I had them on.
Yeah. I haven't heard the word COINTELPRO for a long time. There was a channel called COINTELPRO, and then there's, Montegraph's team. They all talk about COINTELPRO. That's probably what, ex-military people, ex-CIA members, ex-actors, all these people. Rob Skeebers, he said he was the 3-letter, what did he say, CIA, right? Or
I think that's coming up. I think it's coming up. So Richie is going hard here on the agenda to break the community. We got a little bit more here.
On. I had Max Egan on, and guess what? All 4 of them are no good. And I have to tell you that. That was my mistake. It's my responsibility because I had them on presenting them as people that had information that we needed. It turns out we were wrong. It happens. That's what this is. It isn't breaking the community apart. The community is bullshit now anyways. There's nothing else to say. Don't get...
It's not breaking it apart. There's no community. It's all bullshit anyway. This is... We're going to keep hearing the same narrative from so many people. Let's jump ahead to...
This is all they can do, is say that there's no one who knows the truth, even though it's overwhelming right now. What the Cerveza thing did was wake a lot of people up to the fact that there's a lot of lying going on.
So I think this is an important point Richie's going to nail.
Skeeber, I couldn't believe it because I put up a video, kind of, he passed and blah, 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 and I read the story, and I actually stopped, got a Wi-Fi signal, started doing a little research, and I couldn't find his obituary anywhere, but I did find a Rob Skiba that died on the exact same day in the exact same area, but he was 74 years old.
I've seen that. Yeah, I seen that.
Dude, I find that really suspect that some...
I find that really suspect too. No Skiba obituary. So he gets national media coverage for being a flat earther that died of what, and no obituary. So even a guy like Richie is able to figure something out like that. Let's keep going here.
Somebody with such an unusual name would die in the same location, same day, same area, but be 74 years old, because Rob was younger than I was. Is younger than I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know what to make of it. I don't know why it would suddenly be so difficult to find somebody's obituary in the internet age. And I found it strange that like Celebrity List picked him up. Rob wasn't a celebrity. He was one of us. He was a YouTuber. We're not celebrities. We're the enemy. They hate us. And they're all holding him up as proof that he died. Yet I couldn't find his obituary. I found some older dude with the exact same name, which is really odd.
Yeah, sorry.
Really odd. Bang that point home. Let's jump ahead here a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, if you're going to pull a psyop or something to that effect, which I don't know what the result would be because it kind of plays into our hands, but it could blow up in our faces. Who knows? They would put somebody with the exact same name, exact same area that died that day And if you don't click on the link, you wouldn't notice the discrepancy in age. The guy was 30, he was 26 years older than him or something. Something like, I forget, 48, 73.
Yeah, he was, and it's just amazing that specific day.
Very strange.
Here's the thing is, too, getting back to the whole Ski Burst things, no photo from the hospital. I asked for proof from Dave. He goes, oh, this is not a hoax. I said, I want to see pictures. No response. None. Zero. Nada. Goose egg. Of course not. But it's not okay for truthers to question the truthers because we're causing a rift. No. Question everything. Question everybody. Like I said last time.
We'll question you.
I'm tired of that. Oh, we cannot ask the tough questions. We only can question the people in the mainstream. But there's no shills out there. And it's funny. The shills say there's no shills. You know, there's very few people speaking the real truth. And
well, we need to clarify on that too, because High Impact Flicks had a point. A shill is just someone that sells something. So we're all shills at the end of the day.
No, that's not true. Right? We don't all sell something.
Yeah, we know the definition of what a shill is, right?
Yeah, so we even have shills that don't do it for the money. They do it for Satan because of oaths that they've taken. It's about bringing in the New World Order. So we got a little bit more on that clip.
But a disinfo agent.
Go ahead.
Well, some of these things are softball setups. So all of a sudden, you know, the obituary could be presented and then Richie's going to look like an idiot. So a lot of the stuff that these guys speculate on is easily debunkable. They take the things that Jason and I have already pointed out over the years, and then they allow the other side to softball answer it, right? This is the controlled setup fighting. It's like a fake fight.
Or as James Corbett told me in a live stream that we did, COINTEL 2.0. It's the newest version that the military put up. We all ran videos.
Ex-military guys, right?
Listen to this. He's spewing it out. This is super important. This is COINTEL 2.0 that the military put up. Him and Corbett, like, he's really identifying the team right now. If you're not paying attention, try. Let's go back a couple clicks. He's rattling it off.
At the end of the day. But a disinfo agent, or as James Corbett told me in a live stream that we did, COINTEL 2.0. It's the newest version that the military put up. We all ran videos.
The newest version that the military put up. Yeah, that's these guys.
Was on that a couple of years ago when the military came out and said, we're taking over the internet. We're going to start doing psyops. We're going to start dealing with people like Richie from Boston.
We're going to start dealing with.
Oh, are you kidding me? This guy's literally coming out saying that he works for the military. Right?
The military is going to deal with. So Richie, who else is he going to list?
Russian vids, Corbett report, blah, blah, blah.
Russian
Blah, blah,
vids,
blah.
Corbett report, blah, blah, blah. So that's who the military is going to deal with now.
At an expensive rate.
That is how they do it, people.
Cheap. He's probably cheap. At any rate, he says, right? Give him 10 cents, he'll shield for you.
Here's another clip.
But the people that do this, you know, it's daily, every day. That's their job, and it's all about the buck. And I said this before, and I said it to Brian, but that goon wouldn't shut up. You know, when you have money involved, and you're involved in truth, so-called truth, because I said this, there is no truth movement. You know, it's just a bunch of freaking people.
Excuse me? There absolutely is a truth movement. There's, you know, tens of thousands of people that are awake to the truth. The problem is that 99% of them are Satanists, right? That's what the problem is.
These are the guys that are supposed to be the leaders of the truth movement, and they're the ones telling you there is no truth movement. So we're going to go through.
Do the math. Make it make sense. All these guys, every single one of them, just do nothing but mock their own viewers. Make it make sense.
Let's go ahead to 45:52.
No truth movement. We're all Satanists out here, he's saying, right?
Except for some of us.
No, we're not. We're not adversaries. Nope. That's what they're implying.
A victim.
Yeah, he's playing the victim role. Here it is.
Dr. Buttar.
Here's the deal. Everybody knows that if you're making videos and you get into a slump, it is what it is. But if you get into drama with somebody,
get into a slump. But if you get into drama with somebody, he's
automatically, he made a video about me out of the blue. And like I said in the video, he could have simply texted me, because he sure texted me right after you and I did a live stream, because he's got my number.
18. They're having this big fight. He texted me right after the stream because he got my number, right? Thanks, Richie.
That is how they do it. So 104.
They're dividing, right? They want to divide. Richie tucked tail like a coward after this. Unless is there another stream with Richie? I think you said there might have been. We've gone through so many of these streams.
I know it's a blur. So,
it's a good thing that they're cannibalizing each other. I just have to say, because the truth will always stand. This is so much fun.
All right, so I want to just point out here, we're going to have RV talk about this group here. I'm not sure how all of a sudden this came up, but next thing you know, we're looking at the Academy of Divine Knowledge, and you got the Baphomet in their symbol, and you got all these bright smiley faces, one of which is David Icke. He's going to key in on a certain character, but I ask people, pay attention to some of these faces. They might actually show up in some of the stuff we're going through. Right?
And this is I thought he was actually legit. Dr. Pavansky, when he came out, he's like the first one to actually come out and speak, about the wax.
Well, Dr. Thomas Cowan, I was listening to all his audiobooks and waiting for his newest one because he was supposed to show how this all ties into Agenda 21. And then I see him on the list with all these people.
Yeah, and also
I don't know if that
oh, he's not done.
That means he's tied, dude, with them, but it don't look good.
Oh boy.
You can say that again, Richie.
So he's promoting this guy, and then he's like, "Oh, they're tied to him. I don't know if that looks good or not."
That doesn't look good. But I had him on my channel.
105. We'll just let this one run.
Yeah, and also you see Adele Big Tree's in there, of course, Ike. All these people here. Let's see who else. And this guy here, Jason Shurka is his name. He's the head goon.
Head goon. How does he know that?
Head goon here.
So he's at the Academy of Divine Knowledge, and he knows who the head goon is.
He's in charge, a larger in charge. And this guy here, look at these, just the whole group.
Look at the happy faces, huh?
Yeah,
we're facing a world-ending event. This is awesome. Come have free donuts.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And
it's unbelievable. Let's jump ahead to 120.05.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Yeah, this is just setting the premise. You'll start seeing how everything weaves together as we start seeing it from different perspectives.
Dark Winter. Want to get on that topic, brother?
Well, it's funny because I was in Arizona last year, and it started getting. I was out there for 29 days. And halfway through December, it started getting really cold at night. I was just out there, and 2 months early, it's already been freezing at nighttime. And I'm in Arkansas right now, and it's freezing. It's freezing. It's already unseasonably cold across the country. They're already backing up cargo ships, claiming they've got them stacked up 6 months in backlog because they got no one to drive the trucks. They've got no one to unload them. They're squeezing the food supply. You know they're going to pull the power. I mentioned Dark Winter a couple of times because it was in small newspaper articles, and then Joe Biden comes out and starts talking about it at press conferences. If they start talking about it, they're going to do it.
If they start talking about it, they're going to do it. So you got Richie doing that. He said he's COINTEL 2.0. The military decided to roll him out. CIA. And he was talking Dark Winter before it became a talking point for Biden. But it was actually, I believe, Trump that was the one that was promoting a Dark Winter. But here we are. We're coming up on winter. Let's go to 230 and see what we got there. What? Oh, there's a big jump. Big jump. 230. See, with RV, he only covers stuff for a certain while. Then he stops and talks with the chat. And then they start rehashing stuff again. So we've got just a couple more clips in this video.
And when he has the time. The reality is this. That's the truth. Nobody can be trusted. Listen, I'm just a regular guy here doing this. I'm in a sea full of shills and trolls.
A sea
and I
full
knew
of
that from
shills
the
and
start.
trolls.
People
He
tell me
knew
behind the
that.
scenes.
The kiddie pool? He's in the kiddie pool.
Yep. And he knew it from the start. How did you know that from the start? I didn't find that out until I was in here for a while.
I'm not going to say any names. I don't want to drag anybody else into this, but
He's not going to say the names, not going to drag anybody else in, but he's going to stand up David Weiss because he said that the moon is a projection. Right? That's
yeah.
So like,
and high impact flicks sell stuff.
Right.
You're the only guy, you and a few others, but everybody else, you cannot trust them, and you got to hold everybody to the fire. That includes me. If I start saying things that are not biblical, then you need to not follow my channel.
All right.
If I intentionally put on stuff, I veer off.
Or we'll cover your channel when you veer off the path.
Biblically, then yeah, you need to unsub me if that happens, and you got to hold everybody to task. That's what it comes down to.
All right.
So I'm just
We're
being
doing
real.
it.
And literally, you guys have to understand. I'm sitting here at a desk. I don't have a single paper. I don't have any notes. No notepad.
So as I was going through this and I'm watching all this content, it became pretty obvious to me that they're actually reading teleprompters, and that
they're definitely communicating for sure,
and that their lines are actually set to certain timestamps for their occult purposes. I see a bunch of it. So well, let's jump ahead here. This is the last clip from this video. Skip ahead.
Want this out?
Weiss is Yiddish.
Sway's been telling me stuff on Skype for the longest time. He's been calling everybody out. But to me, it's timing with everything. When I do things, reasoning behind it. And I told David it's going to happen. The last few texts I sent David, I said, David, I'm going to call you out.
I'm going to call you out.
It's no surprise to him. I told him this was going to happen. And he asked for it and he got it.
Richie said he just texted Brian up to the podcast, and now Ben, whatever his name is, Lashenko, is saying, I texted him after the podcast just to let him know, this is how it goes, man. I gotta do this, right? Or he said, "Good job, back." I don't know.
Good job. That was awesome. All right, so this is. Let me show everybody. This is RV Truth live stream podcast 46. Flat Earth Fokker and Pat CIA Steer. All right, so this was published November 7th on RV Truth, and we've got timestamps starting at 5:34.
We're getting down to it. He also mentioned me in his last video he ever made, which we'll get into more again later on. So let's take a look again at the chat before we continue on.
I just wanted to point out that RV is going to keep mentioning how he was the last person to talk to Fokker.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
It's pretty important being that last guy to talk to somebody that makes it into the news for their death.
There's Tommy Rogers. He's in our chat sometimes.
Yeah. He's wrong team.
At all. So we'll get more of that, more and more into different topics as we go. But again, I'm looking at the chat, and again, this is all about creating this separation, which people.
How fast? I'm going to slow this down. A little too fast there.
Not too fast for us, but we want people to make sure because like we said, we're going to play their words.
Mm-hmm.
And the onset are going to be furious. They're going to be like, "Oh my goodness, what are you doing?" This is again a necessary. It's necessary to separate. Who's necessary. What side are people going to take? And that's exactly what Richie said and I said behind the scenes. People are going to be mad at us. We're going to lose subs, but we're doing this for the right reason. So basically,
they're going to lose subs, but they're doing it for the right reasons. They're part of dividing intentionally, very intentionally. Let's go out to 3739 now.
Number 33 stream with Mac, as you see here, right in front of us. And this is, again, transparency. People, listen, I'm going to put everything out there. You guys come to your own conclusion about everything, okay? Just putting everything out there. All right, let's take a look. Let's get back here. So, again, for transparency's sake, Mac Parhar, Flat Earth Fokker, was an actor, okay? He's been in Jigsaw in 2013, Afghan Luke 2011, Hijira in 2005. All right. So this is from. Let me get here. Let me get here. This is the scene from a movie.
You know what's funny? Just so everybody knows, we played all this years ago.
Yeah.
Right. And we went and screamed all this at Russian Vids, and he just blocked us. Right.
So we actually did it with Mac.
Yeah, with Mac live. We did the exact same thing with Mac, the guy that's on the screen right now, right? We showed him his acting. Like, we talked about all this, right? So I think it's funny. I guess now is the time they want to pull the plug.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So RV missed something. We'll go back here.
Let me get here.
So it opens with this shot, 6366. So that's coded, and that's part of the movie that Mac was in. Didn't get a mention from RV, but I think it's notable.
Let me get here. This is the scene from a movie that he's in. That's him right there, obviously. And here's another scene here from the same movie. Let's go right here and you see Mac right there, and that's him. All right, there's obviously no denying that. So, supposedly, he went down, as we all just, heard in that clip.
Went down.
A denier.
Cerveza denier.
The bug. Down.
So,
you had so-called former, was it Robert Steele? Same thing. A denier. Down. Just an actor. When they say former CIA, that's always CIA. Just like when they say they're.
That's important to remember. A lot of guys say that they were former this and that. RV's right. There's no formers. Not in this community.
Former Satanist, don't trust them.
Passio.
They put that form.
That's the guy that they all follow. Mark Passio. He says he's a former Satanist.
Former Anton LaVey ordained priest of the Church of Satan, specifically, and a bunch of other ones.
Can't cover their tracks, and they try to play that good guy. Doesn't mean it's impossible for someone, but there's too many so-called truthers that are, quote, former Satanists. Now, that gets the skeebs, okay?
That gives us the skeebs.
Well, at least he's calling it out. I will give Ben the credit. He did stand up here and say this stuff. This will be marked as who he is, right? Like the intro song, Who You Are. This is who he was. So it all stands as evidence, the good and the bad.
So here's some good Skiba evidence. Now remember that the other side, the David Weiss side, is saying that Skeevers is gone. He's not with us anymore.
He definitely wasn't a Freemason or a CIA agent. Definitely not.
Best Christian they ever met.
Yep. Jaron loved him. Jaron talked to his wife. He advised her, what she should do and his best thoughts. They loved Rob. He's the only one that never told them about hell or anything like that, right?
We'll get to all that.
Same thing.
He was a different kind of Christian.
Anti-wax. Rob Skeevers dies from the bug, supposedly. And here's Skeebs with a big smile, thumbs up.
Skeevers. They debunked that. They debunked that. So I saw this. I saw that in the Facebook meme. Right, there's a bunch of the Torah keepers on there that support him.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it? Karen B says she's a Photoshop expert, and she said that's clearly not real because Sheila wasn't even allowed to go past the front doors, into the wing where Rob was. They just took him in there, boom, they wheeled him away. No one ever saw Rob again. He was in that room for 40 days.
And 40 nights.
40 nights, and then he died. And he made, mainstream news as Cerveza denier dies. Now we've got the other one. And ladies and gentlemen, all these people are tied to the Church of Satan. Literal Jaron Campanella, almost flat out Church of Satan apologist. You couldn't be more screaming without, again, like I said, he's a coward because he won't proclaim it with force or power. So you see what he really is. But that's what these people believe in, all of them. And go figure, Passio says that the dark occultists have the power, right? Well, absolutely not. You are all walking straight into a trap, and you guys have set the trap for yourselves. It's retarded. It's like going hunting and then, getting caught in your own trap. That's what y'all are doing, right? But we'll just keep watching. Get your popcorn out.
All right. So now RV's going to go on to talk about how Mac wanted the 33rd episode with him and how important it was.
Okay. So again, Mac requested episode number 33. Very firmly.
Hang on. Sorry, Ben. You know, talking about don't believe me, he always says. Well, this is a bit odd that you had him on for your 33rd show too, right? Like you're here. This is how you're going to softball it. Mac was the reason he specifically asked you that he could be your 33rd degree show or whatever episode. So you guys are all on contracts. You're here for money, all of you, right? His videos monetized, Russian vids, 100%. He's got doesn't he have the join or super chat ability and all that nonsense?
Yeah, so RV is the guy, and he knows it, that I literally learned about the 33s and all that and Freemasonry from. It doesn't take much of a search at all to see that RV is a huge Freemason. He teaches everybody about gematria and the 33 and all that kind of stuff. And so he knows how important and significant that's going to be. And to have Mac be granted that special episode when he's the guy that ended up, being taken from us. Mac's no longer with us.
He's down.
He's in Margaritaville.
How's Jeff Berwick, Mac? On a side note, when I came into the truth movement, Benny Plashenko or whatever his name is was already completely outed as like a Russian, agent. It wasn't a secret. And what I want to add to this too, you got all this like WWF wrestling worshiping going on. And as a kid, I thought that like the Ultimate Warrior was cool and Hulk Hogan was cool. And then like, I don't know what age I was, but I found out that it was fake. Right. And I was absolutely devastated. I was like, what? This is fake. And it wasn't until Hoist Gracie showed up and I saw the first ever UFC that I actually got to see actual men, defending themselves in hand-to-hand combat. It was brutal. UFC was brutal. But you've got these full-grown men. You got, Ben, Russian Vids, and you got Jaren, Monday Night Raw. They actually have podcasts with Chris Jericho, who is let me get this straight, Jason. Wrestling is a bunch of men, all oiled and greased up, wearing tights, fake fighting in a ring for children. Is that right? Is that where they market the wrestling?
Yeah, you're drawing a visual. I don't even want to go there.
Yeah, and I won't even get into the MK Ultra programming that they lace throughout the content. But let me just be honest with you guys. It's absolutely one of the grossest things. When I see people and I see their heart condition, when I hear the words that come out of their mouth, I always form a picture of what they are. They tell me who they are. Just got to really watch these people. And why is it, I want to point out here, why is it that Skeebers, right, this Torah observant man of Yahuwah, as he would say,
God,
right? That's Trey Smith. He would say Yahuwah, right? Why is it that all the proclaiming Satanists worship you, Mr. Skiba? I would love to know. And not only that, but why is it that Rob's entire life was dedicated to worshiping the fallen angels, and he literally had fallen angel like Nephilim skulls behind him in most of his clips? Like, how is it that I'm the only one? Well, Jason was another one. We've been calling this out. I've been at war with what Russian Vids is finally 2021. I was doing this in 2015 or 2016, right? We've got the videos timestamped. I just want to understand is why did it take so long? What happened to Russian Vids 4 years ago when we were saying we need to stop these people now? Like, why? How come when we called out Mac, we called him out, we said, hey man, you're an absolute satanic shill, right? You're working with the government. You're an agent. We called him out. We did it in front of the whole world, right? Why is it that me and you are the only ones that stood upon the truth, that Mac was there to subvert the truth? And what does Mac end up getting to be done, right? He was the first one to have his business taken down, therefore desensitizing the whole entire nation of Canada for those people to then lose their businesses, right? And then what happens to Mac? He goes to a flat earth conference, flies home, right? And then disobeys the supposed quarantine orders, goes to the police station and bitches, right? Like, how dare you come to my house, right? Gets thrown in jail for that, comes out, has this huge media presence nationwide as the anti-Cerveza bug guy, right? We called that all out all the way. Why is it that now Russian Vids isn't even calling any of that out? None of it. You don't hear any of that from either one of these sides. Why is it that nobody said anything? Where are they? Why is Russian Vids not commenting below our videos. Where has he been? He says he's this great researcher. We gave him all of this information like 4 years ago, right? I don't understand how that these idols and these people that they're being worshipped right now, that all they did was lie, cheat, steal, and try to make as much money as they could, right? I just don't understand where these supposed truthers are. I really don't know.
All right. Well, we'll keep going here.
October, 33 a month, the only month that's 33 numerology. I find it interesting with that as well. So that gets into who you see here. Patricia Steer at this one Flat Earth rally conference, whatever. And you see Mark Sargent, who I've never had a problem with Mark ever. Mark's, whatever, if he's working for this side, whatever, Mark's been always kind of guy not to get involved with any of this stuff. He kind of stays on the sideline. Never a crossword with Mark. He's been a guest on my channel as well. But you got that 33 Mark, and you do those hand signs.
So he's not trying to create a beef with Mark. He's not going to call him out, but he does point out he's got the 33 and he's Sargent, and his whole appearance in Flat Earth is absolutely something that we've smashed. Absolutely smashed. And the way he brought Pat onto the scene. These are the agents, but RV's not going to call him out. He's got no beef with Mark. So he points something out with Rush Limbaugh coming up here that will be pertinent again later, so let him cover it. That's at 4454.
You have Patricia Steer. This is our past dialogue on Skype, and she wants to do a live stream. And what time did she request? 3:30. Just like Skeebs. Supposedly, Pat, his memorial at 3:30.
Look at that.
We'll get more of that.
Well, yeah, but so they're coming out and saying, you guys are coincidence theorists, right? Brian and I at Backflix literally did a video where he said, I believe in coincidences, right?
He's going to tie it together
For this, people say, the 33, but we'll definitely get more of that. So you have,
and what no one is going to tell you is that these signs and symbols, right? They've had some sort of attribute of power that have been added to them. At least when these demons or whatever these people are cast them, they're doing it like that. We're going to be hearing tons of this Freemasonry stuff. And, I just want to take this opportunity to say that it's all like a joke to me. It scatters like cockroaches in the light. None of this stuff has any power over anybody that's tuning in or listening. You only allow something to have power over you. Nothing has power over you, right? Except for the Father, Yahawahashai. He has the power over you. None of these symbols or signs do, but they do have power for these people and the people that aren't aware of what they're doing, right? That's how this lesser magic, they call it. It's weak. It's a joke, but that's how it works. So we can call it out. The people that understand it can understand it. You're not affected by it. It's the innocent people that don't understand what's going on. They're all heavily affected by it. That's how these people make their money.
As you see the sign of silence with Rush Limbaugh in the same exact, we know he's a Mason. There's no doubt about it.
Who's Jim Morrison, Death Faker, ladies and gentlemen.
Doing the sign of silence. He's got the same type of 33 that Rob Skiba used.
Seed.
And then he's going to go on to explain another aspect of it that a lot of us probably don't know about, right? But he's going to point it out, and it's going to come up later in another one of the Hangouts.
All right. So you have that 33 coded as well. And let's move forward a bit here. Let's see here.
There's a lot more coded there.
And it's just like in front of a Masonic lodge here. This one, I believe, I'm not sure.
So this one right here is popping up in a lot of the things that I've been seeing. This specific one. And he's going to go into some details about it. But just remember this sign on this building because it seems to be something connected to this group of people specifically.
Shouldn't say the Forest Lodge. Here it is right here. I'm sorry. The Forest Lodge.
Forest Lodge.
And it's funny. Forest Lodge is like, pagan tree worship. Huntsville, Texas. That's where it's at. Yeah, there we go. And here's the double cross with the skull and bones here. So the double cross.
Double cross.
You know what that means. You're being double crossed.
Yeah.
And that gets into some Masonic symbolism.
Masonic
And I'll
symbolism,
just
the
go over
double
some here.
cross.
The Maltese cross, the Templar's cross, the double cross, as you see here, is actually literally called the double cross. And like I said, I'm going to show this as well. You know, these are hidden pyramids in plain sight for the upper vantage point, like looking above a pyramid. It's basically
it's called a bird's eye view. Bird's eye view. Russian Vids, he really has absolutely no three-dimensional understanding. None. It's from above, right?
All right, so here's a clip about Rob.
let's play this right now. And again, this is out of his own mouth.
His own mouth.
You know, they always put the truth in plain sight in a mocking way. Let's just take a listen to this. I think it's about 30-40 seconds from Skeebs.
And continued to do that until I got into high school. At that time, I thought maybe I wanted to be an astronaut. So I focused on my grades. And right after I got out of high school, I went into the Army to learn how to fly helicopters, because I had learned that the astronauts learned how to fly the lunar lander by learning how to fly helicopters. Plus, my dad was a helicopter pilot, so I followed in his footsteps.
Now, this is key. You know, he's talking about being an astronaut. But this is the key here, what he's going to say. Very, very damning.
I did that for 8 years. Got out of there, did a year with an organization whose initials ended up being C&I&A.
C&I&A.
CIA. He's going to say it's not, but take a listen.
So it was not what you might usually think of those initials, or was it?
Or was it? You know, or was it? Or was it as far as working for the CIA? So we know he's been on along with.
All right, let's go ahead to 5211.
You know, look for the signs and symbols. You know, look everywhere. You know, you see this, like, it looks like a skeleton for like skull and bones in the back. You see the EE, you flip it around, you get 33 again. And you see this highlighted. It looks like someone just, with the blackboard, they got the eraser and they just freshly put this in. And you turn your head sideways and you see the Masonic symbolism. Okay, there's so much more. You guys can pick it out. You know, the Soviet, you know, or Chinese Soviet logo here with Russia, all these things, you know. But again, look around. They love their symbolism. And clearly the EE there. Hopefully you guys can see that good. Might not come in exactly like I want to, but hopefully.
All right, so there's some symbolism. Rob's got it. Let's jump ahead a little bit.
Skeebs right here. Take a listen to what Skeebs says here. And again, supposedly his memorial's at 3:30. That thing he's doing with seed was the code at 33. I'll take a listen here for the coincidence theorist. Give me a break.
I was born in Texas, and I've been living there since 2003.
Very nice.
I don't have a Texas accent because I lived in Massachusetts for 33 years.
There you go. You know, just funny.
There you go. Just kind of funny, right? No coincidences.
No. Brian Young of Low Impact Flick says there are coincidences. Oh, and another thing too, Brian, he's always like, I'm the most truthful man. If anybody has any accusations or things that they'd like to bring up, I will talk with anybody. Yet we've made the complete, we asked Brian to have a podcast with us. Nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. Again, like I said, these people won't say our names because we're not on their team, right? It's obvious.
So now RV is going to cover Rob Skiba and his prophesying about the mark of the wild animal.
Before the whole flat earth thing, when I was exposing, and it's called specifically, obviously, this is obviously called the Prophecy Club. They're making, you know, it's all about prophecy, foretelling what's going to happen in the future. All right. So let me actually just turn off the audio temporarily, because I'm just going to, you know, go over what he's talking about here.
One thing I want to say before he starts is I did send you a screenshot of so Rob is the only one who beat me with a timestamp. Now, I did this without the Church of Satan or the Prophecy Club on TV. My prediction was, what better way to make people take the mark of the wild animal, right? Put it into a, you know what, orange juice that is mandatory after a outbreak, and it's almost perfect, then you're done. So I said that October 2nd, 2014. That was my timestamp. Now, you know, Rob was before me. He was what, 2009 or 2010?
13, this is supposed to 13. Be from.
Ooh, we were close. But I was able to do mine through deduction, right, of what I was seeing being rolled out. And I've got the timestamps to prove it. It's just he beat me, and I guess that's what the Church of Satan. This is their plan, right? Look at the way the lettering is. Look at the way Rob looks. You can just do the deduction.
Anybody can look up this video. This is predictive programming, where he talks about. Maybe we'll just actually play a little bit, so people, there's no question mark. Let's see if I can find that, and let me find the right spot.
Well, imagine this.
Now take a listen carefully. Again,
Captioned in Yiddish,
this is why
right?
The reason they do this is to create heroes. Like,
you see that?
I noticed. Yeah, the closed caption is in Yiddish.
Yiddish, yeah.
I wonder what it says. It might actually be coded with something.
Yeah, it probably says what they wanted him to say. Probably spoken a bit better. Well, he was all right. He was their top guy, right?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, this guy predicted. How did he know? Because of course, he's privy to the script. Take a listen.
If you don't get the shot that they've got all ready to go for you, no shot or cure means, well, you don't.
Well, actually, let me back up here. He's talking about the plan, the planned event here. Let me back up here, actually. If I can go back further. Maybe it's right here. I apologize. This is on the fly.
For everything, right? Release a really bad flu pandemic of some sort. Well, imagine this. If you don't get the shot that they've got all ready to go for you, no shot or cure means, well, you don't have a job. Somebody mentioned last night, their job requires them to take the flu shot. If they don't get the flu shot, they lose their job. So we're already seeing kind of a microcosm of that happening right now, a test. Got to take the shot. Or you can't be a teacher in school, or you can't work at CVS or whatever. You got to take the shot.
CVS, isn't that where Jaron worked?
So they're already making it mandatory for some people. So we've got a little miniature test going on with that.
He was in Pharmacia.
CVS manager or something.
And he was a Bitcoin thief. He was investigated for what did he say, $100,000 by the FBI, but he got away with it, right? But the other guy that he did the thing with called him out, called him a bitch, called him a coward, made all these videos about him. It was hilarious, right?
We got about another 20 seconds of prophecy here.
Stop right there. So when people see this, they're blown away. How does he know this? It's just predictive programming. Again, all the connections I made prior, CIA.
Hold on, pause it. I just want to point out a Mark Passio connection. So Mark Passio teaches of diseugenics, right? Where they've actually been poisoning people and making them weaker over time, which is absolutely the truth, because he told you guys that he was going to tell you all the truth. He's going to tell you everything they're doing, and they think that there's absolutely nothing that you can do about it, and there was nobody that was going to be able to see it. Rob is one of them. The same program, diseugenics, and you see here on the screen, eugenics, right?
Let's jump ahead to 58:35.
See some of the comments, and Ramina's laughing, but she knows.
All right, so this one's a little hard to understand. It says Ramina is laughing, but she knows. It's El Despertar. Now, this is a moderator in RV's chat, and there's going to be something Pat Steer says that's going to connect Pat Steer with being El Despertar in the chat right here. So he's addressing Pat Steer, who's a moderator in his chat, as he's calling out Flat Earth Fokker and Patricia Steer, right? That is literally...
Well, she's in the chat. He's not texting her, right? But no, he was texting David, right? And Richie was texting Brian. So they're all texting each other.
El Despertar is laughing about this right now. So he's going to start doing some cover with Pat. You should be able to pick up on it a little.
It's rolling right there. Flat Earth and other
Yeah, definitely props to Ramina,
Props
because
to
hey, I'm
Ramina.
human, and I'm dealing. Listen, also, and I want to say this too. I apologize for everybody out there as well.
So he's apologizing for going against these people right now. To the people that are his same team, right?
Yeah.
To Pat.
I apologize.
Let's jump ahead to 104.53.
You know what's funny? That it's so easy to find out who Russian Vids is, and it absolutely exposes that they're same team because nobody showed it, right? That's what I think is the funniest.
We'll show it.
No, we're not on their team. And what does the guy have to hide? Come on and own it. The owning it is the only way to be. All the Satanists are on their side saying, we're owning it. Here's our picture. Here's our name. We all serve Satan. They're owning it. Well, I mean, they're not that bold yet.
Yeah.
They're close.
A lot of time to explain it, and I finally got it. You never did that. All he said was, I had a change of opinion about that to cover his butt. So, yeah, Mark's charged. Like I said, I don't know what Mark's saying in the chat, but I never had a problem with Mark. Mark, he's been here and on my channel.
Hey,
I
Mark.
said this. If you don't create problems with me, you're not going to have problems with me. I'm not going to attack Mark. And even if Mark was, quote, working for the other side, you know, I'm going to leave that off the table. People say, I'm
going to leave it up.
Because I don't do that until people, you know, basically fall for the bait that I lay. The bait was, I'm going to call out some phonies. Let's see who's going to defend them. The ones that stay neutral, fine. The ones that
stay neutral, fine.
That's the worst position. Let me tell you guys, lukewarm people are the worst. I have more respect. I would have more respect for like people like Passio if they just own it, or Jaron. If you would just own it. What do they like? It's 2021, man. You guys are already, you want to seal your fate. Why are you still pussyfooting? Right? Just own it. Same with Russian vids. Own it.
This gets worse. Now all of a sudden Bob's going to be in the mix.
That are like, I'm going to be on, okay, you pick sides. You're going to be public about it, trying to be persuasive. Then there we go. You know, so unless things change, it would be no problems as far as that's concerned. Yeah, you know, hold on. Glowbusters.
Hold on.
That's fake. You're gonna. I apologize for that. You're gonna get your wrench back.
What?
Yeah, somebody else supposedly was in there with a fake account, and
he took his wrench
and made some accusation about Bob. But then now RV's here. Oh, that's fake. And so he took the wrench away, but right away he's giving it back. Listen to the way he talks to him. It's hilarious.
Because that's not fair. And I apologize. I'm going to be mad about that. If that's fake, then that's not right. And I'm greatly sorry for that. And we're going to fix that right away, actually. But also, too, hold tight, everyone. Hold tight.
Hold tight. He's going to do it right now.
Right now. That is service with a smile.
Wow. Remember what happened when we met up with Bob? He ran away like a bitch. I was like, don't go, Bob. We want to talk.
All right, so we're going to get some coverage of Alex Stein. This is a character that's on Globebusters now. So the Morgile, he's in tough shape. So Alex...
Alex got his job, huh?
Alex got his job, yeah.
And I see Mark here in the chat. I have no idea
we
what
still
makes
love
sense.
you,
So,
Morgile.
you know, if we're good, we're good, you know. So don't, you know, as far as that's concerned, I'll even throw you a wrench unless we have issues. I don't see it. I see Mark as someone that kind of stays on the sidelines, doesn't get involved in nonsense. And I appreciate him coming on my channel to speak with me. So I'm going to put it out there right now, you know, and that's how it all breaks down. So we're going to be real here. We're not going to, you know, be fake about it.
We're going to be real here.
Be fakers.
This
right?
is real. Right?
So we got to be real with each other. And again, you know, that was wrong. That was wrong. So Bob, all apologies if some clown
is he gonna sing that Nirvana song?
That's what was said to me. I didn't see that. Like I said, I'm talking to David and Jaron. I have no idea what's happening in the chat. That was
my stamp that I had has the wrong note for it. Let's see what's at 122.04.
This is another one of the Glowbusters getting a wrench back. Oh, it's Mac.
Yep. He's going to confirm once again he's the last to talk to Mac.
Fly with Fokker. All right, like I said, he mentioned me in his last stream. We'll get to that a little bit later on. It's coming
hilarious.
Well, let's listen to him. It's about, I don't know, about a minute or so. Let's listen to Fokker and what he has to say here. This is a few days before he was, you know, supposedly passed. But here's the thing is, I should stop before I even carry on. I talked to him, like I said, literally a day before he supposedly passed. It was 2 days, then we went into the early morning, so it was literally a day. He told me that I didn't know it because I've been so busy doing my own thing. He told me he's getting over a bad cold. That's his words. In the almost 2 hours we spoke, I looked at it. It's almost 2 hours. I looked at the time frame or the timeline of how long we spoke. It's almost 2 hours. He didn't cough once, no sniffles, no signs whatsoever of being sick. And this is a day supposedly before he passed.
That's pretty damning.
All right, I just want to make that clear.
You made it clear.
It's 2021. 2021 vision. Almost 2022, right?
What's up with you, Rasta? So that's quite bizarre that I'm getting these attacks. Like so many people getting sick.
All right, so we've already covered Mac and Skiba from this aspect, but this is RV's coverage of it.
It's definitely not Convid, because Convid doesn't exist, so I'm not even going to fucking go there. A lot of people are like, "Yeah, convent." No, I got a fucking aches, really sore throat, a lot of phlegm, hot. I'm like feeling cold.
It says feeling hot to feeling cold. Okay.
Rasta manifests. I didn't really
At the
change
flu?
anything. Whatever. Shit happens. I guess it's meant to happen. Maybe it's an accumulation of toxins the past year and a half.
So here comes the explanation for why.
Interesting, because
Why
that's
he's
the
sick.
theory that that we've been saying, that this is how actually the bad stuff they give you does to you through
Yeah.
accumulation, whether it be I can't even name the things.
Well, and he's going to do some negative manifesting here, which is actually black witchcraft. When you
Pastille style,
Pastille
the
style.
truthers, tripod hockey players.
Half, not sweating out as much, not being as active, being stressed out, being in a negative state of mind, probably all manifested and induced for my
Manifested.
body to shut down, because like I told you guys last time, I've been in a pretty negative, depressed state of mind. And it's hard to stay positive, man. Like I could be positive. I mean, I try to be positive, try to fool myself. I just can't. I would be delusional if I did that, because
Delusional if he
everywhere
was
I go,
positive.
it just smacks me in the face.
I could tell you why. Because this is all fake. He's an actor. But I mean, if you don't have faith, if you don't know that you're going to be reincarnated no matter what, then of course you're going to be depressed right now. It's just the funny thing is because Mac is literally the one causing depression and all these things that he says that he's feeling. He's trying to get you to feel. Oh, this is the clip right here.
That he was taking, and this is what Joe Rogan said he supposedly took for supposedly the bug, the same exact thing. So what I'm getting
Joe
at here is this.
Rogan,
It's just to show
definite
this here. This is a discussion on CNN.
CIA shill who lives here in Austin, who's telling people to take something that if you don't have worms when you go to the bathroom, if you have worms when you go to the bathroom, maybe you need a small dose, whatever they say of that stuff. That's fine. Okay. I'm not a medical expert. This isn't medical advice. But what I'm saying is, if you don't have that, why would you take something for an animal that is made for that reason? I've never understood that. Still.
CNN about Rogan and the bug and taking the unproven deworming drug. All right, so that's another aspect here. We have Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers talking about the same thing, the same subject, and treating it with
and flat
deal.
Earth.
So that gets
that's the weaponization, and Jake the asshole's going to get into that aspect of it.
Aaron didn't want to side with, your mainstream flat earthers. He didn't want anything to do with those guys. You could tell it was clear.
Very clear.
Into, and by the way, I should mention this, these people such as Aaron Rodgers, they're high up, he's a Mason. I'm not saying how high up he is, but he's a Mason. He was talking about this nonsense, which I covered years ago, supposedly seeing a UFO. So he's involved with these big name stories, and, they like to do that. By the way, the 1 and 2 is 3, the 1 and 2 is 3, and the G's for 33 as well with Masonry. So,
this guy, he sees most of it. He really does. Let's see. This section is just him confirming that he spoke to Mac again. So let's jump ahead to 130.
So this is where I'm getting at. Again, with the whole Joe Rogan gimmick. Let's listen to Mac in his own words here. And we'll continue. It's only a few seconds with this clip.
So I was feeling better, and I did get my hands on some Iber, that drug, Iber, the pectin, whatever it is, that horse parasite remover. So I did take that, and I do feel like 40% better, 50% better. But I am a little bit down right now. So I was better like yesterday and all day today. I was feeling like 50, 60% better.
All right, so there you go. So why would a guy that admitted, again, he didn't have the bug, be taking the same thing that supposedly is a non-wax, I'll call it, cure for it? It's highly suspicious. I mean, anybody in truth will, you got to remove your emotions from this.
We said it right away.
Yeah, it was actually Yahawahashai's daughter that nailed that point right away. Like, oh, why is he taking that if he doesn't believe in the other thing?
She's got the timestamps on Facebook to prove it too, so she had it.
Let's go to.
It would be wise to come after us. It's a bad idea. So what does she do? What does he or she do? I stand with wise. Okay.
What does he or she do? He just slides that in there.
You want to stand with wise. Now, a lot of connections we made that I've known for a long time.
Because we told you. Well, I mean, she did her own thing. Whatever they did.
All right. So,
Ooh,
do you remember this guy?
How could I ever forget Nathan? The last I saw of this guy, I'll tell you guys, he was selling atomizers, this weird contraption to fight against the cerveza. You had to like vaporize this poison or something. I don't know.
Let's see. I skipped past a little bit. Let's go ahead and play this.
With Weiss. Now, a lot of connections we made that I've known for a long time, but I'm going to put it out there. So you see this for Halloween. Oh, it's just Halloween and the devil horns, and it's innocent enough. And by the way, here's Robbie Davison. It says a Christian, and I think Mark's there.
See, that's the issue. Not a Christian. We've been showing how he's considered the Pope of Flat Earth because he's like the head of the Flat Earth Society. His channel, he actually uses the Flat Earth Society's logo. He was the organizer of the Flat Earth conventions.
Yeah. He was on ABC Nightline or whatever. He was he brought Logan Paul in, and they just mocked everything and destroyed the movement that they had. He was the catalyst to it all, and then he just ducked out.
Yeah, and
he did a dancing. He danced was the last time we saw him.
He was an actor too, just like Mac.
Actor.
Yep.
There as well. But this is what I'm getting at. This is a very powerful. There's a powerful video by Nathan Roberts, a Flat Earth Doctrine, obviously a Christian.
Obviously. No. So what Nathan did is after we exposed Pat, then Nathan went through and did it with stuff that is debunkable. Like he's the COINTEL that was the controlled release after we had already broken it. So it's just a common narrative. We've got the live streams with Nathan.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, but not in a funny way.
Well, I mean, it made me laugh.
A man I spoke with. It's been a while on Sun, Moon, and Family with Karen in the UK.
Ooh.
We had a good talk, good conversation. I forgot how, maybe four years ago. I haven't talked to him in a very, very long time. But what I'm getting at is he made this video presentation on Patricia Steere. Now,
so this is his presentation on.
Well, I just want to say, so when we found Nathan, he was actually having, I think it was a fake Patricia Steere and a fake Mark Sargent copied his book. He wrote a Flat Earth book for children, right? It was absolutely horrendous, filled with lies, disinformation. And Mark and Pat, somebody named Mark and Pat on Amazon copied his book and then was selling it again. And he entered the Flat Earth scene. That was his bio, right? And then he was reaching out to them, and he was same team.
Oh, this is just going to be so obvious, so blatant.
This is like 6 minutes of Pat exposing.
So
right
we know
here,
that
so you can stop
he stated
whenever
that
you want.
They had a store. A girl has a gun, and just standing in front of the sign of silent symbols, and two of them. One of them is not good enough. Two of them, you got to point that out. And of course, these are the well-known Masonic symbolism. All right, we all know this. They all do that. And if you're awake, if you're a truther, you're not going to emulate what they do.
No. They're covering their mouth. Shh, secrets. They swore death oath, these people, right?
You serve Satan.
These people are going to come out here and tell you they're truthers, right? I don't think so.
Obviously, going on with the program and being one of them, you're going to do that. They're all about, again, sign symbols, dates, numbers, and colors. So we're talking about here pushing, I always say it a million times, the whole deal with Crowley, the law of reversal, doing things in reverse, riding and walking backwards.
Crowley coming up a lot.
Literally everything in reverse. And that gets into these online stores. And make no mistake about it. Again, this is the store itself. Shop girl style, Patricia Steer of a girl is a gun. Okay.
All
so
fake.
Take a look. Again, the law of reversal with Crowley. You know,
I mean, the symbolism is real, but it's all
I'm not
staged.
saying, you know, I'm putting it out there. You people come to your own conclusions as far as that's concerned with Antonio Subaritz in the UK and his claims.
Do you know what the Antonio Subaritz claims are?
Yeah, he said it was a man.
Said it was a man. And they live together.
Yeah.
But I find it interesting after seeing things she sold on her Etsy store. This is her store. There's no denying it. And after Nathan Roberts points us out, a girl's a gun. Look at all this stuff with Crowley, the unicursal hexagram, Baphomet. This is her stuff. What the hell is she doing? Or he doing? And again, the law of reversal. So Baphomet, as we know, is an androgynous being. Okay, another thing I should mention, what that was that Betty Johnson store. I forgot the name. I might not have this perfectly 100% clear. Operated the store, working the store, managed. I'm not even sure exactly. I don't have it in front of me, but they had some models, and there were 3, transformers. I'll just call them. They weren't real females; they were males. 3 of them.
Transformers.
All right, so let's make that clear. So you have this.
T-Rex.
What is a truth they're pushing? We know the people that run this world are occultists. So what is the truth they're doing, selling these, dealing with these, picking these up, throw these in the garbage, you stamp them out, you burn them. Okay? So what else is Patricia Steer selling, hawking, King Diamond, Baphomet? Okay?
Yeah,
Girl's a gun.
There's the double cross.
All right, King Diamond. Again, all this is the sign for Satan right here. The goat within the circle, as we know, the inverted pentagram. So she's playing stupid, like talking to me about exposing stuff. She's obviously fully aware of everything that's happening.
Now she's a Christian, right?
Yeah.
She's actually more Christian than the Christians.
The close-up, you guys can't see that clearly. Okay, this is very damning. There's no way you could worm your way out of this. You know, and more of the same.
But there is going to be a story from Pat as to how the worm its way out. But we have a counter story that actually locks her back in again.
I mean, everything you're selling. What the heck is going on here with Venom, black metal? You know, obviously, this is self-explanatory, self-evident. Everything we're seeing here.
Ooh.
Christian death, really? You know, the one-eye symbolism. And selling these books.
RVC
Encyclopedia of Occultism. I mean, pretty dumb if you're a truther and a well-known truther to be putting this out there, unless you're doing this on purpose and purposely wanting this to be put out there for some division. Who knows? But what a dummy for doing this. What a real egghead.
Put out there for division.
You know, all this stuff. I mean, I would not have any of this stuff. This stuff, you know, you're peddling to people out there.
I wouldn't have it either.
Yeah, we're not endorsing this.
Take a look here.
No, I can't, pause it. The craziest thing is, didn't he say she was like a moderator in his chat right up into this show?
Yeah.
Right. Hello. Excuse me. He's selling you her items. That's what he's doing here. We have to point this out. How ridiculous is it that they're best friends, yet he has all this information because we gave it to him years and years ago. Right now, all these death fakers are popping off in their community and they're just revealing it all on their own. That's their only move, right? And what they're doing is just having it worshipped, having it put in your face. It's the same thing with Brian. High Impact Flicks, go to his channel. You're going to see a bunch of videos of him showing all of his merchandise, right? Now we're at Russian vids and he's supposedly on the other team, even though he texted with David and Patricia was a moderator in his chat, right up until this hangout here. But here he is exposing you to her witchcraft, Satanism, occultist stuff, right? How does that add up? Make it make sense.
And the Baphomet tank top. So, working with the enemy, sleeping with the enemy, whatever you want to call it. Okay, these are the people we're.
You hear how he said that? And here we have the Baphomet
people that are, that are
sleeping
against
with
me.
the enemy.
Can you play that again? I'm gonna be quiet. I want to hear his deliverance on this one.
And the Baphomet tank top. So, working with the enemy, sleeping with the enemy, whatever you want to call it. Okay, these are the people we're. And the Baphomet tank top. So, working with the enemy, sleeping with the enemy, whatever you want to call it. Okay, these are the people we're working against. You know, and it's just unbelievable. People that are, you know,
He laughed. He did
that
laugh.
are against me. I think I'm a troublemaker for speaking the truth, you know, and exposing these things. And I'm the bad guy. So, okay, yeah, I'm the bad guy. And of course, the non-believer, you're not going to care about this. If you're a non-believer, so what? That's going to be their point of view. Who cares? So what?
Who cares?
But this is a spiritual.
Everyone should be allowed to do what they want.
Deciding, any way you look
Do
at it,
as thou wilt.
these are the people that run this world that are against us, pushing the deceptive, but I'll say the wax on society. So if you're siding with them, you're
they
also,
are behind it. He's
might
right.
as well not even be involved with truth whatsoever. So if you're supporting anybody on this side, the other side, even if you're not a Christian, you're highly confused. You need to reevaluate where you stand.
All right. So there's the vision. So he's pointing out that if you support Pat, you support this, and in that he is correct. But a lot of gross things dropped there. We'll jump ahead to 146.
I wonder if everybody's laughing in the chat. I wonder how many people that are not in the chat that know all of what's going on right now. I wonder if you guys are all laughing on the other side of the screens. I wish I could hear each one of you guys laugh. You know, even probably the people involved. This is probably really funny to them, right? You know, even though it's absolutely not a game, right? We're going to see who has the last laugh. We'll find out.
So RV is going to now call out Jaron.
He's not saying it's all good, but he's saying is don't discard it and take a look at it. I have no interest in having anything from Crowley in my home. None. Nothing at all. Let's take a listen to what Jaron says here about Crowley.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jaronism here with an interesting video for you. Let's talk quickly about Edward Alexander Crowley, a.k.a. Aleister Crowley, a.k.a. Frater Perdurabo, a.k.a. the Great Beast, 666. He's the English occultist, mystic, Taoist, ceremonial magician, poet, mountaineer, shaman, and the founder of the Thelemite philosophy, who saw...
Thelemite. Do you remember what David Weiss calls himself in our intro that we did? We have that one clip. He didn't go to college. He didn't go to college.
Dark arts.
Dark arts. He's a Thelemite. He called himself that a couple times.
Himself as a prophet who is entrusted with informing humanity that we were entering the new eon of Horus in the early 20th century. Now, how much do we actually know about him? How much has been said about him in truth, and how much is lies to keep you away? Sometimes the best thing you can do is look at what he wrote and base your opinions on his words. Otherwise, you might simply dismiss information which might help you in your search for truth.
So you're going to go to Crowley for a search for truth. This is what Jaron is pushing, peddling.
That is what Jaron is pushing, going to Crowley for truth. Yes, Jaron is a ravaging Satanist, everyone. Let's jump ahead to 148. It's not that far. I'm just going to...
Meant to conceal the lost words of the Temple of Solomon, which Crowley claimed to have discovered while researching the Zohar and Freemasonry. So in my mind, anyone who dismisses reading any of his work is not really looking for the truth.
That's enough.
That is enough. Jaron's position is anybody not researching Crowley is not looking for the truth. All right, it's pretty obvious where he stands. Pretty obvious. Let's jump ahead a few seconds here. And this is the last statement I'm going to be going through from RV in this hangout, and then we'll be moving ahead.
Supporters that are obviously, they don't believe in Christ, and nothing I present to them will change their mind. You know, nothing. But for the Christians that say they support him, you guys are siding literally with the devil's side, with Crowley and pushing of this, the beast himself, the wickedest.
So he makes the point that if you are supporting Jaron, you are supporting Crowley. That is the division. We have we have flat Earth that's being divided into the non-Christian side, and then RV,
fake Christian side,
and
right?
RFB and Nathan Roberts,
effed up world,
effed up world, and Robbie Davidson.
Hang on, I got to point this out. Okay, if I run up to a group of witches, I'm not going to ask the witches, "Oh, which is the best Christian?" Right? they're going to tell me with the worst one. they hate you. I don't understand how we're even having this conversation right now. Anybody that the absolute Satanists are promoting, this is the Christian you should listen to. You should run as far away from those people. Listen, there's only, we made onto Jaren's podcasts. We were the super shills that they don't talk about, that they kept the black. Oh, Jaren put that there for us. The funny thing is he's actually the shadow character, not us. You'll see.
All right. So what we've done now is we're moving on to Jake Gibson, who used to be Flat Earth Asshole. Right? He was in Flat Earth. He was called Flat Earth Asshole. Now he's either Jake Gibson or Jake the Asshole.
So to give a quick backstory, he was friends with Math Powerland from Montreal, Canada. At least he met him there. They were filmed together in a comedy show. Both of these guys swung off of Math Powerland. They used him to try to get some sort of popularity. Jake drove around the country banging a bunch of broads, in his own words, with a dog. And he was just doing nothing but Freemason signs, 33s, all this gross stuff. And he was the first one to actually come out and flip against the fake New World Order pizza flying in outer space model. He was the first one, right? Although he if I go in his stream and put he shuts it down. So he won't come and talk to us. Him and this Thomas guy is, here we go.
Yeah. So what's his name? Thomas
Scott something.
Okay.
I think he calls himself Pizza T, right?
Pizza T. I think we're gonna let him. We're gonna let him explain that.
Peter, does a lot of filing. Peter files.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What he files. I'm very worried, and I'm gonna let's get into it.
There's gonna be a lot of pedometer alerts coming up.
Mysterious flat earther deaths. Rob Skiba and now Flat Earth Fokker.
He's got auto tune on. That's the reason why it sounds like
recently, and both their deaths being connected back to the C word, of course.
He's probably trying to hide his
first moment of silence for Rob Skiba.
No, absolutely not. No. Listen to this. Look at these guys.
Yeah, because they think he's a Christian, right?
Yeah, no. Shootout. No, but Jaren tells you, well, he wasn't a regular kind. He was one of them, Torah keeping kind, right? Jaren says he was a Kabbalist. Just say it, Jaren. Own it.
All right. So Rob Skiba was known as a Bible
guys are gross.
Flat earther. He was
burp it into the mic like that.
Supported the AE map.
That was their moment of silence.
He was famous. He was like royalty in the flat Earth movement.
He spoke at the flat Earth conferences.
He's a little. See, my whole thing with flat Earth is that being so deep in the flat Earth movement since 2012. My thing with him, almost with you, but more with Rob Skiba, he was so late to the game. Like, what took you so long to figure this shit out, bro? Come on, man.
All right, so major problems there. He's saying that he was 2012. Not even the earliest timestamp that can be found is 2013, and that's Math Powerland. So this guy is saying he was out here beforehand. Now you have the backstory of having come from the hoax truther movement to Flat Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That you saw Skiba there right from the get-go. Now he wasn't taking a position. He was a fence sitter,
lukewarmer, but he was coming up with all the CGI disinformation graphics,
creating the actual Freemason New World Order AE map and model, the one that's been.
Then he went on to tie it to the scriptures while still fence sitting, right? While telling you that he was with this prophecy club and he toured the world and he designed a globe and 3D modeling and all this stuff. And while continuing to promote disinformation, we've got a long stream on the Limitless channel if you'd like to go and see a little bit about Mr. Skeebs.
I'm gonna jump ahead to 1354.
Going to sit there and watch that entire video. Whereas if you've ever questioned the shape of the Earth, you're glued to the screen while that guy's talking, right now? And you can't believe your fucking mind of what you're hearing.
He's doing?
So most sheeple wouldn't even watch a video like that. They wouldn't sit there and listen to that. Whereas somebody who's ever questioned the shape of the flat Earth, the minute some guy like that says,
All right, so he's strutting around some pizza shirt. He had to lean back and show off his pizza shirt to everybody.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep doing this stuff, and I hope it's just an act. I don't know. That's what I want to hope.
And because some flat
Trolls
earthers,
versus trolls.
especially those in places of influence, choose to peddle fiction, we're losing more of our loved ones today than we were a few months ago. Flat earthers, meet Delta, the Delta variant besieging our nation.
I just want to point out that Mac had the Delta yoga studio, so there is a Delta connection to be had there.
Is faster, stronger, and more contagious. It spreads more than twice as easily as the original COVID virus. We will beat COVID because we know the Earth is not flat.
Ooh.
We will beat COVID because we know the Earth is not flat. We will beat COVID because we know the Earth is not flat.
I'm going to speed this up a little.
Back in 2018, I rebranded the channel and changed my name from Flat Earth Asshole to Jake the Asshole. Many of my subscribers were confused. People even unsubbed my channel because I changed my name. I had a premonition from God that the term Flat Earth...
Wow.
Yes, this is Jake's premonition from God. This is important. I'm going to back up and pay attention to the premonition that Jake was given by God.
Because I changed my name. I had a premonition from God that the term Flat Earth was going to be weaponized.
Ooh.
And so I changed my name. And now that it has been weaponized, and they're blaming the C-word boogeyman disease on flat earthers, well, my premonition from God was 100% correct. I told y'all they were going to weaponize that term. I saw it coming long before it even happened. Only question we have to ask ourselves now is, who's next?
That's a great question. We've already asked it. So among this fake truth community, that's a whole bunch of Masons. Who is next? You know, we've got speculation. But they are going to keep coming, everyone. This isn't the end. Let's go ahead here to 1815.
Yeah, he's in the chat. He wants to join us. No, we're not. He's not joining us. We're playing his words tonight. We're showing what he showed. We're talking about the good parts and the bad parts. And he'll have his chance to defend his case if that's what he wants. If he'd never been to Canada, that's fine. He can come on and explain how he met Matt and all that. He can do his own show. He can come and defend himself. We will fully well have that, but not tonight. We've got a lot to get through.
What, Mark Sargent, I'll bet you would be my prime candidate. If I was going to pick who's next,
as we were going on the air, we got a bit of news on another story.
The DOJ
happens
to be like the next one who dies of it. So if anyone from that Flat Earth conference, any of the fucking Flat Earth conferences starts showing up dead, that means if you have the name Flat Earth associated with you at all, you might want to think about ditching it. And it's not about morals or being, a sissy.
Interesting.
Government.
Just be a martyr.
Check
Don't
it
worry
out.
about it.
Check it out. I was called
Quit Flat Earth.
Asshole,
Don't talk about Flat
and
Earth.
people unsubbed from me, and people to this day are like, why don't you go back to being Flat Earth asshole? Well, in 2018, I had a premonition that the Flat Earth community as a whole was so infiltrated. It was so toxic.
Infiltrated.
You had a premonition. We were been telling you, bro. We don't think we have timestamps telling you everything that you're spouting. Like, what a joke. You had a premonition, right? From God Real. He lied to you.
And what's funny is effed up world is in his chat. So here's supposed to be, like Bob Nodell's best Christian. Jared.
No, that's the guy, David Weiss. David Weiss has
David
been
Weiss
spouting off, yes, effed up world, effed up world, effed up world over and over and over again. Yet here he comes in Jake's same team. Jake, how do you explain all this, man?
Where's
how do you
my
explain
wrench?
that you're yoked up with all these people? Where's my wrench? Right? Is he going to get one in the stream? I don't know.
People were on a collision course with making themselves look like absolute retards, and I was totally right. And furthermore, now that I see what's happening, I'm so glad I changed my name from Flat Earth Asshole to Jake the Asshole. It's like I had this premonition that the community was so infiltrated with shills that it was inevitably going to just implode. And so when they invited me to those first conferences, I declined. I debunked the AE map. Shortly thereafter, changed my...
Oh, debunked the AE map. Well, we've got timestamps going way back farther than you, Jake. In fact, we have timestamps of you coming asking for debunks of the AE map from us.
But here you are touting that you got a premonition from some god. That's what you're lying. Well, calling us liars in the chat. We're playing your own words, man. We got it all documented, timestamped, and recorded.
All right, so let's jump ahead to 2241.
He's not even a huge part of the target. He just joined the conversation. That's all. He's in the game. We're playing what he brought to the table and showing it to everybody. And everybody has the chance to come and, defend their positions. We've never had any problem with letting anybody on.
Yeah, there's only...
We had Mac on, right?
Lots. He's our biggest repeat.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if... Yeah, we can continue.
So because they can't put they can't take Pandora's box and shove all this shit back into it that we've already seen, the end of the world is going to take place right in front of your very eyes, and you and everyone you know looks like you're on your way to your grave sooner than later. And this is a direct threat. If we don't start removing people like this from their homes and disposing of them soon, they will be removing us from our homes and disposing of us soon.
Wow. I don't condone that in any way.
That was a direct threat. Was that a premonition from God again?
Could have been.
Let's go.
I'm sure he'll come on and defend himself sometime, right? He wants to.
Yeah, that'd be great. We got lots of questions, especially about the buddy, Scott. We got lots of questions. Maybe he can come on at the same time, Jake.
Yeah, with them together.
Secretive religion where the goal is to lie, deceive, and dominate your opponents, which is us, the regular common people, that they view us as sheeple the same way we view sheeple as sheeple, except they get a satanic fucking rush of fucking energy when they dupe us. They get off like a orgasm when they dupe us, bro.
They get off like an orgasm when they dupe us. That was his big point that he wanted to make there. Let's jump ahead to 3516. And jump ahead here a little. Here we go.
On the live,
Hey, that'd have been crazy, dude. Because me and Thomas, we do this on the fly. We don't script shit. So I'll bet you there's people in the audience that'll be like, "Oh, this is totally scripted." If he picks up, and so it's like, no, this is me and Thomas are real dudes. We live in California. Here's the story for those of you who haven't been in the flat Earth game or the truther game for that long. Me and Thomas.
Oh, here he is. Matt.
This is. I'm gonna jump ahead here to 42. Ooh, yeah, this is getting into some gross stuff here, everyone.
Yeah, this is weird. These questions are going to be asked. I don't know why we're the first people to do it, but I mean, this guy's got. You want to bring up the symbols that I sent you before you show this stuff, or I don't know.
Yeah. So, I've got a list that Ronnie sent here. I just put this one up, but this is from the FBI, and this is the kind of stuff. It's swirly, or it's got butterflies.
Spiral.
Yeah,
the butterflies. The butterflies are hearts. The spiral, and there's the pyramid spiral. Right. Mm-hmm. These are the main things that we want to point to people's attention. Stay away from anything like this. Any parents out there, you see anybody with any of this symbolism, get the away from those people right now.
And yeah, so this is a video that Thomas Scott did, and let's check it out.
Didn't Mark pick it up? You know, he promoted it, Mark Sargent, right?
Yeah, it's got let's see here, if I go back a little bit earlier, where am I at here? Oh, at 35:16. I skipped past this, but let's see, because he talks about the connection to math, and that seems to be something that he mentioned in the chat. So let's go back to 35:16 and see what was said here.
This is like Sopranos. It's called Flat O's.
Yeah, and see, we were both friends with Matt Boylan, and we both hung out with him a shitload of times, and so we knew him like on a personal level.
Personal level with
Dude,
math.
no, you know, we hung out with him quite a bit.
I'm calling him right now.
So they're calling math. They hung out with him a whole bunch. So he's saying he was never in Canada, but I guess they only hung out together in the States or something.
California, I guess, right?
California.
We'll find out when he comes on, right? He says he wants to.
So 42.
It was fun going to. He's married now, but it was fun hanging out with him because he was a fun guy. He was like a bro. He was a good wingman, and so that was cool. It's too bad that I was married at the time, and you were going through a breakup with your girlfriend at the time too. But and now he's married, so it's not like
and then he ends up with a smoke show like Katie.
I still think we'd be best friends if it wasn't for Katie. And this problem, you know, because I'm pretty hot too, and you know I have the celebrity aspect going on.
So let's give.
Wow.
So
that's weird.
Did you catch that?
I caught everything that he said.
All right. Yeah, he's talking about math.
But I was married.
Upset that he's married. He says he's pretty hot. That's uncomfortable right there for me. All right, so now you should maybe be able to see here. The resolution's not the greatest, but this is by Pizza T. Pizza T. That's the Scott guy, and
like, what does that even mean, right? Pizza T, right? When we know that pizza is a term for people that are pedometers.
Mm-hmm. So the play bar is sort of in the way, but once I play this, there is a statement here that
back in August 2015. So some of y'all thinking that you're some OG flat earthers in the comment.
All right, so Ronnie was around in 2015. I came in 2016. That is first waivers. So he was out there making, this is an infinite plane song. It's the infinite flat earth song.
At David Weiss's model, right? Infinite loops and pawns and suns, right? Well,
and it does say here that
so Pizza T is here. He's here in the chat, and he says that he was on CNN too. So he's proud that he's also an actor. He's letting everybody know. What else is he going to share with us?
Let's find out.
Find out.
Did you make a video back in 2015 talking about the Earth being
also,
flat?
this
yes.
was this won Mark Sargent's first music.
And I didn't have any pizza in it.
It won an award for Mark Sargent, right?
Oh, won an award, eh?
Yeah.
Hit play. Let me give you a little more props. So my boy Thomas sitting beside me made a music video about flat Earth before I ever started the channel. So before any of you guys ever saw my face or knew who I
Jason,
was.
pause it. Wait. Jake says that they made this video before the Pizzagate.
Before, yeah.
Before it. We got that documented.
And it does come up. They talk about it.
Or ever even had a thought about Jake the Asshole, aka Flat Earth Asshole. Before you ever knew I existed, Thomas Scott here beat me by 6 months to the internet with a Flat Earth song. So he
that wasn't even the first, and also I figured it out on my own.
Dude,
he figured it out on his own.
That concept exists.
So some of you guys like talk smack about Tommy because he doesn't present himself on camera the same way
who
I
is
do.
this?
But
who is this content targeted
This guy right
towards?
here questioned the shape of the Earth before probably 99% of you in the chat. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying it because it's true.
It's probably, I know, and right now too, like I got so much going on in my life, and really I wish. I'm saving up money to get a mail order bride. Hopefully that doesn't kill me. That's beautiful. Unless there's a pretty girl on here. I'm totally changing the subjects now.
All right, let's go ahead and show him. Let's show him your song because this is actually.
So he wants a mail order bride, or he's looking for a chick that he can pull off of the chat.
A killer tune.
Okay.
When I wake up in the morning, I see the
So it didn't take us long to get to a Freemasonic hall with a checkerboard. There's something on his hat here we'll be able to read better later on. All right, so what's everybody seeing right now? That looks like a certain type of pizza wall. He's doing the goat thing with the fingers on his neck. Infinitely flat. So he came out with this model, AE map model, the one that we've debunked, the one that Jake the asshole has debunked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is the guy.
But no, man,
right?
He literally went from the Earth is infinite to we're surrounded by an ice wall caged in. Like the next sentence.
It doesn't get dumber than that. It doesn't. That was the UN logo going by.
I'll shoot a hole through at the moon and walk it around as it travels because it does not spin at all.
So what kind of outfit would you say he's wearing now? Is that a onesie? It's got the orange triangles on it. Is that supposed to be?
Looks like pizza slices too? Or, we just showed the list. If you go back to that list again, it just, it would have been better if he had the pyramid inside of the pyramid. He didn't go that far. I guess he didn't know that one yet.
Well, it's coming. It's coming.
Dave Matthews swears he saw the satellite. What he actually saw was a dangerous drone spraying chemtrails through the sky.
Chemtrails is a nonsense psyop. It's actually condensed air that's run through the planes. They don't use jet fuel. They use kerosene to run. Is it called an APU? Right? The chemtrails is an absolute
power unit. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, chemtrails is an absolute witchcraft psyop. They're heavy metals, yet they float. Yet the planes themselves are almost like blimps. They have to be pressurized in the cabins for them to fly. They barely have enough weight to add luggage onto them. But yet these people are going around telling you that the chemtrails are up in the sky because the planes have these monstrous tanks in them filled with heavy metals that they then spray out in the sky that don't ever fall. No one's ever filmed a chemtrail falling to the earth, ever. They look like clouds. Yet here we go. This is the promotion of, look at what's on the screen right here. Would like to know if he's in the chat right now. Pizza T, right? What's that pizza? What is it short for? What's the T short for? And what's with the Freemason symbolism, right? Like, and this was early on, right?
Early,
self-proclaimed.
And got an award from Mark Sargent. Oh, get the eyes going.
I am not a shield, I am totally
That was one of the best lines.
Yeah, no, that's the worst line. Keep a secret plan to keep you out of the promised land, huh?
All right, so
chilling out with more gold than you've ever seen, huh? That's
now we get a better look at what's on the hat, and it says "Ghetto Lot Kids." And this is like a pin that's been added on here, and he's highlighting it, so he's into the Ghetto Lot Kids.
Yeah, he's showing you that sticker, that pin. What does that mean, Thomas?
Wow, look at that background.
You can never float so hard that you never come down. You always burn right at the top, and your ashes spread all over the town. I took an airplane to Chicago. Look out the window.
Oh, that I looked away for a second and I almost missed it.
Airplane to Chicago. Look out.
Does anybody recognize that sign right there? This is literally the sign that RV was using. So Scott Pizza T does have a timestamp all the way back to 2015 where he was using this. Here's the double cross. This is what RV was showing.
The window is totally flat. I took a picture, put it on my space. Why wouldn't you Armstrong swear on the Bible that he went on the fucking moon? He punched his dude right in the face. Why does every planet stare right at us as it goes?
Why does every planet stare right at us? It's a Flat Earth song that he made in 2015. Why does every planet stare at us?
Around the sun, that's fucked up. Quit staring at me, the eye of Jupiter.
Keep staring at me, the eye of Jupiter. And this was definitely a planned pose.
I am not a shield, I am totally real. I am totally real. There's a psyop and a secret plan to keep you out of the promised land. There's no more.
The secret plan to keep you from the promised land. And back to pizza. All right, this is creepy.
Oh, there's no Santa Claus, and the South Pole is the biggest roads of them all. Surrounded by ice, there is more land. Take me there to the
Mason. There we go, everyone. I think you're muted.
Thank you. So I just put my link in the chat. My first video, I talked about it a little bit before this, but it was April 18th, 2015, right? That's when I was calling out that the earth was flat. I don't know what his timestamp was, but I didn't have to use any pizza symbolism. I didn't have to use any of the nonsense, right? So it's just interesting that if we're going to have timestamps, if that's what the game is here, there you go. I've got some too.
All right. So we're moving on to the next stream, which is Flat Earth Fokker, Mac Parhar, and Rob Skiba exposed. This was November 10th by Jake the Asshole. And we're going to be checking this out. Our first stamp is a 139. Let's get into this one.
We're going to be talking about that. In fact, me and Thomas, after looking into this, just scratching the surface just a tad, we're not so sure Flat Earth Fokker's did. We're not so sure Rob Skiba's did. In fact, we have some evidence for you that might have you thinking these guys are duping us and they're alive, maybe on Epstein's Island, sipping a margarita.
What island?
What?
Did you notice which island he thought that they would be at?
Yeah, the bad one.
The bad one. Yeah.
Very bad one. Do I have to repeat it?
No, we were hoping that they were in Mexico with.
Let's hear his words
with
Jeff
Jeff Burswick.
Let's hear his words again.
And they're alive, maybe on Epstein's Island, sipping a margarita.
Ooh. All right, so it gets worse from here. The pedometer is going to be ringing loud coming up.
Yeah.
Right?
Most likely.
So let's go ahead and start with evidence number 1, Flat Earth Fokker picture.
It's all about probabilities.
Now, chat, rip this picture apart.
First
That's going to be a hard one, right?
Oh.
What?
We got to hear this one. Don't want to skip over this one. Make sure we hear Scott here.
You know, chat. Rip this picture apart.
First off, do you see child abuse?
Hold on, Thomas. Let's.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. These.
Where did that
Let's
come
get into
from?
the satanic symbols that you see here, guys. Come on, it's obvious. Look how easy this one is. At least they said it, right? Yeah, good job, guys.
All right, they finally start calling him out, but Scott had to look for something else first.
In the middle.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the Mason book, correct?
Yeah, that's their Masonic book right there. Over to the left, you got 3 different 666s. 1, 2, and then the girl. 3.
That's the eye
Yeah,
of Horus.
so you got the 2 homeboys to the left with their 666s, and then you have the girl with the 666. Now, the flat Earth hand sign like this, that's a Mason symbol. The flat Earthers just stole it.
Yeah,
This
I
is
wonder
a
where he
Mason
learned that
symbol
from.
long before it was a flat Earth symbol. All right?
Yeah, they stole it.
That's fine.
Sounded
We put it
offended.
out there. We don't care if someone takes the truth we share and shares it. We want that we want the truth shown. And just a message to anybody, you can all look at this information, do your own deductive reasoning, and come to your own conclusions. We're just playing the words that these guys chose to say, the videos that they chose to make. This is their content. We're sharing it. This is what, in an open, free society, evidence is brought forth, everybody sees it, everybody makes their own decision. It's not controlled, it's not one side against the other side, same effing team. No, you've got a couple of guys that come in here, all we care about is the truth. That's it.
Yeah, with our critiques, our criticisms, commentary.
Flat Earth Fokker. This
Wow.
is the last time.
Wow, check this out, you guys. What are the odds that Flat Earth Fokker goes on Russian vids for episode number 33? Just a coincidence, Tommy.
And you gotta
See, it all comes around. Now we're starting to get some overlap from some other directions. We'll scoot out to 820.
They're going to a stupid Flat Earth conference. They're mocking us, you guys. Flat Earth Fokker? Who names themselves Flat Earth Fokker? First of all, those movies were not that funny.
True.
And second of all, naming yourself Fokker is stupid. I called myself Flat Earth Asshole to take the piss out of anyone trying to the piss out of anyone trying to make fun of me. Calling yourself Flat Earth Fokker?
Hold on. That again, what I said off the beginning here is you're going to see people contradict themselves in the very next statement, one sentence to the next, right? So, Jason, could you explain? One is called the Flat Earth Fokker, which is like the Flat Earth Fucker. And the other guy is the Flat Earth Asshole.
Yes.
Right? Do the math. Make it make sense, people.
Same team. They're there to take the piss out of flat earthers, right? They actually chose those names. They had a premonition from God to choose those names.
We're not even bringing in the evidence that IPS has on this guy with all the girls of this guy or whatever he did on his trip. It's all out there. That's the funny thing is people forget that a lot of the stuff that you do is recorded, in this realm, let alone everything is being recorded in the heavenly realm, right? Everything, you guys, everything.
Pizza tea.
Russian vids, I think, is also a gatekeeping shill. But he did a 5-hour stream showing all the Masonic connections to Flat Earth Fokker.
And that's part of what the Masons have to do. They have to tell what they're doing. They have to put it out there. They can't just kill you. They have to say on TV or
They're putting the truth.
Kill you.
They're putting the truth out there. So check this out.
They are putting the truth out there.
Mm-hmm.
And we are showing it in context. We're going to jump ahead now to 5049. What do we got here? 5049.
Tommy's story will blow your...
Oh, yeah. So this is Scott's story. This is weird. It's a little bit of a sidetrack, but I think we need to get this out in the air right now.
You're mine.
This video is from 2007.
George Clooney's got a girlfriend, and she went to Kentwood High.
So we're watching a live stream from these guys where they're exposing Mac Parhar and Rob Skiba. And now all of a sudden, this is some important avenue that we have to go down. And this is the girlfriend of Pizza T.
I'm ready.
Hi,
This
I'm
is from
Michael King
2007.
with the tell-all
And so what I
interviews,
think happened is
including
that
Here, pause it.
the
So
ex-wife
Tommy dated this girl in high school who went on to become George Clooney's girlfriend.
Oh, they got a $20 super chat.
Think about that. Tommy dated
for an
this
entire
chick.
year. She was in the front row.
Jake is the most. Hold on, pause
Show her.
it. In the middle of all this, can you go back one click? I want to read that super chat. Someone paid $20 to say Jake is the most honest truther. So many shills. It's disgusting, obvious. CIA operatives. They have MK Ultra like control over the masses. Unbelievable that. Oh, look what we got underneath that comment. Ooh, what is that? What is that? Is this before the Pizzagate scandal or was this after? Right? Come on, guys. What do you guys got going on over there in your end of the podcast world? Right? Shining the light on you guys tonight.
I think it's going to start coming out.
Think about that. Tommy dated
For
this
an entire
chick.
year. She was in the front row of the Oscars, guys.
Here, show
Front
her.
row, wow.
Oh, let me type it in over here because she is hot.
She's
I'm
banging.
hoping I win her back, and also her dad is connected to this whole story. Her dad got HIV in the 80s.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I shared a post on Facebook today about Fauci saying that can be transmissible through the air, but we're not medical. We're not.
Yeah, so now all of a sudden we have AIDS in the mix. So start drawing some mental connections.
In 90s when the ZTX or whatever that one person, ouchies person created, and it killed a bunch of people. He refused to take it. He was homosexual, right? But he loved Jesus. I know it's crazy. He loved South Park. He hated, who, Fauci. And
Let me interject real quick. I don't want to. Let you get right back on track. We have
this girl's dad.
Yeah, but so he was Pizza T was supposedly with Sarah Larson, who then became Clooney's girlfriend for a while or something. There's some really bad connections in all this, so.
A donation from Mr. Chris 7582, and he says Jake is the most honest truther. So many shills.
He read
it's
it.
Disgusting. Obvious CIA operatives. They have MK Ultra like control over masses. Hey, I appreciate the donation. I completely agree. Me and Tommy, we just want to do this mainly because it's the right thing to do. So anyway, Tommy's got his girlfriend up on screen, or is
Oh
wow.
This is the Hangout exposing Mac Power, Har, and Rob Skiba. You see where we?
Wow.
Let's go to.
Started hitting me up like Star Magazine, the National Enquirer, the News of the World, like great. It was.
Listen to who he was getting hit up by: Star Magazine, National Enquirer of the World. He's getting hit up by all these.
Crazy, and it was stressful. Wow. And so what I made a movie with this girl Sarah, right? And I told Star Magazine. So basically, I had made $10,000 selling pictures to Star Magazine and like People Magazine.
You made 10 G's selling pictures of a girl that you slept
of a girl
with?
Yes, and I was digging up this movie I made with her where she was pretending to be a crack whore. And I knew if I could find this VHS tape of her acting like a crack whore in the year 1997, I would be rich. I fucking found it, guys. I sent it to Star Magazine. Star Magazine said, well, we'll take a look at it. I sent it to them.
All right. So this is, the story just keeps getting crazier and crazier. I'll jump ahead a little bit.
Once they
take her back and marry her right
Once
now.
they found out Tommy had some pictures that wouldn't make her look good, George Clooney kicked her to the curb the next day. You can't make this shit up.
Really?
You can't make this shit
I think
up.
what they did is they.
He was the one who infiltrated and ruined her relationship with George Clooney, and he's out here sharing that on his debunking of Mac Pahar and Rob Skiba.
Mm-hmm. That's his big reveal, but here comes the connection to all the pizza stuff, and we're gonna have to play this slower and bang it out because it's not good. The pedometer is going to be going off a lot.
Stage name was Pizza T because I forced them to call me Pizza T in the tabloids, and at first they're like, "We're not calling you Pizza T unless that's your legal name." And I was like, well, "I guess we ain't fucking talking." Like Jake knows, I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
and then they said, "Okay, we'll do it." And so the whole part, because this guy's at the top of the fucking, almost at the top of the food chain. Pizza T, they created Pizzagate to try to fucking take down Pizza T because I'm fucking Neo from the Matrix. Boom, how about that?
Bro, exactly.
Boom. How about that? So he's talking about the hierarchy in the pizza world, and they made up Pizzagate to take down this guy, Pizza T. All right.
What does that even mean?
That,
why would anybody want to be associated with any of that? And he's like, boom.
Boom. I'm Neo from the Matrix. Boom.
Jake knows. I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So
and then they said, okay, we'll do it. And so the whole part, because this guy's at the top of the almost at the top of the food chain.
Almost at the top of the food chain. He knows the whole food chain when it comes to that topic, apparently.
Pizza T, they created Pizzagate to try to fucking take down Pizza T because I'm fucking Neo from the Matrix. Boom, how about that?
Bro, exactly. And they're trying to murder, they're trying to like take us
Is he wearing like a cartoon on his shirt? Is it like a Mickey Mouse? I don't even know what
Itchy and Scratchy.
Oh, come on. Again, who is their audience? What are they targeting here with Jake wearing the cat in the hat, weird looking hat or whatever that's David Weiss's logo is Alice in Wonderland. Look at the hat he's wearing. Doesn't that look familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Because we figured out that the Earth is not a ball. Do you guys realize that all this shit's happening because of you guys in the chat? And
it's happening
really?
Because of you guys in the chat.
He's telling the chat that when before he was like, you guys don't know shit. Me and Thomas, we go back to 2015. Thomas is like, I knew the Earth was flat when I was in kindergarten. Now he's like, you guys in the chat, you single-handedly destroyed the globe model in the same stream.
And me and Thomas know that the Earth is not a ball in outer space spinning around.
And that's why I never said shit to fucking YouTube who I really am. You should see the conversations back and forth. I hope they don't even see this.
Everything that we're experiencing, Thomas, the reason why the world is ending and we're going to watch a shitload of people die is because me and you and the people in the chat and people around the world know it's not a spinning ball.
That's why everybody's going to live, actually.
That's like cult talk. Right? We're smarter than everyone else.
Some people will live. Some people are going to live.
Yeah, the Satanists, they think, right? No,
that's
actually,
what they
it's
think.
Wrong. It's gonna get flipped. Like you guys have no idea what's coming to you.
They might.
Weaponize the term, and you can only expect it to get worse and more crazy from here.
And I just showed you the conversation I had since September, but it was before September. It was in September when I took my battle to Twitter and started using trolling techniques, the same trolling techniques that got me onto CNN.
Same trolling techniques that got me onto CNN. We troll pretty heavy, but I don't think CNN's gonna pick us up. This guy's got super troll techniques. Oh shoot! I owe you.
You owe me $10.
Ah.
Let me make sure mine's on mute. It is. I don't know anything.
And you know what? This is some guy that tried trolling me that's calling right
really?
now too. Yeah.
Oh, go figure, right? Yeah, that's ooh. You know, you guys, come on. This is a fair game. Everybody gets to put out their own words, just like Jason and I have, right? We put out our own.
I lost your audio.
Oh, sorry. You guys can clip our live streams. We put out our words. You guys put out all your truth and all your words, right? That's the way this goes. And everybody gets their own conclusions. They get to look at the evidence, right? I'm not stating for sure 100% about any of this stuff. We're just showing what you guys are saying. We got so much to get through too, but
yeah. So we're almost done with this, and then we get to move on to Jeranism.
Ooh.
I don't know if there's any crypto people out there, but there's this coin called Sheena.
Crypto, huh?
All right, watch this.
Oh.
I'll make this bigger. Watch Scott here.
And that's why I was telling Jake I got this new plan. I don't know if there's any crypto people out there, but there's this coin called Shiba Inu. Sorry. Called Shiba Inu. Sorry about that. It's a Donald Trump habit.
I've accidentally done it too. When people talk, they accidentally do that. Now, if we were to pose with
no, they don't. No.
That was absolutely scripted. Absolutely scripted. So one more stamp from this. It's nothing special, but we'll catch it on the way out at 57:21.
This is what she looked like back.
Hey, did you hear that?
Did the cough? What's that?
They're glad that Mac and Rob didn't cough in my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, if those two Masons would have coughed in my face, then I would have fake died for sure.
All right, so I'm pretty sure that that's pedometer talk right there. Either that or just homosexual. So
weird. No, I don't mean weird, because Jaron uses that word, and if you research what weird means, no, that was just odd. Odd. All of it. You guys can be the judge. Like I said, we're just showing you their own words. This guy proclaimed, he's in the chat here, he said he was doing the pizza stuff before Pizzagate happened. He was wearing the logos and putting it in his videos, right?
So notice he scrolled through here, and this is the image that he highlighted, and it's at monsterfresh.com. I did the same search for Sarah Larson and found this article at Monster Fresh.
You know, the other thing you didn't point out too is, didn't he have a JPEG at the bottom of all the stream? That was weird.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he's still here. He could maybe explain what that was.
Yeah, I'll jump back and see if I see that quick. But this I found really interesting because it's got this whole story, the story that he's giving, and it's from Pizza Tea, this whole thing. So it looks like he wrote this. It's absolutely horribly written. It's ridiculous. Here, there is a post from a guy calling himself Pizza Tea on the internet, who not only calls himself a hippie thug, but also claims that he dated Sarah for 6 years. And this whole article is arguing that Pizza Tea dated Sarah. That's the whole purpose of this thing. It's really weird. So anybody want to dig into something that's weird? So that's,
nah, weird's not the right word. No, it's odd.
Yeah.
Odd.
And yeah, if we jump back here and let this play.
What's that?
They're glad that Mac and Rob didn't cough in my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, if those two Masons would...
See, now it says FE Peg. Let's try it earlier.
Was it on the other stream?
Maybe it was on the other stream. So what we were talking about is on a Mac. Got to get back to another section that... This section right here where you download a picture, there was something gross and odd that we saw earlier. I'm not seeing.
I think it's
quite
on
what
the other stream. It's got to be on the other stream
All
that
right.
you showed.
We can move ahead. So the next one, that's Richie.
Richie.
We can get back to that if we have time later. This is Jaron's. How much do you know about Aleister Crowley? But here is the Baby Truther Show. This is the 11/11/21 with David Weiss, Stein, Pratt, and me. That's actually the newer one, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the 11th.
That was the
Yesterday.
11th. So let me scroll here. We'll go to RV, the final chapter. And this one's not going to screen share real well, because if I open it up, it's going to go full screen, the picture in picture. That's not going to work well. So we're just going to have a small screen.
Just do it that way.
So we're going to go to 256.
Now, welcome to the show, everybody. It is the end of an era, the end of an icon, and we remind you, don't ever go full RV. It's a big mistake. We are starting right on time at 5:33 p.m.
So this
I'm not getting any sound.
No?
I wasn't.
I
don't know if anyone else heard.
Yeah, if we can hear from the chat whether or not that sound was coming through. Let me stop the share with you quick and share it again. And let's give this another shot.
And for military time, that is 1733. And if you know about 17, you know that's the Jesuit number. My brethren told me to make sure I started at 1733 today, so I've done so. RIP, RV False. We got the Jesuit here. We've got the actor. We've got the hypnotist and the witch, and maybe some special guests. Let's
guess
say
who they
hello
are.
to everybody.
Super surprise show.
A reminder,
right?
don't go full RV. And we've got Alex down below me.
It's ridiculous. Like, first off, RIP RV false. It's not even a correct grammatical term. You should have said RIP RV lies. RV lies. That's what you should have said, but you went RV false. It's dumb. Really dumb.
Alex, I want to introduce you as number 1, undefeated. Number 2, the offspring of King Kong and Godzilla. And I don't remember what else he said. Just a lot of angry stuff.
Well,
I liked it.
that makes me feel very good. That description, and it's very accurate. But I just want to say, what RV is going through right now is a humiliation ritual. And
did you catch that?
Wow, throwing it out there, huh? Thanks, Alex.
That's what he's going through right now.
so this will actually get him to the
gonna
next
get peed
level
on
of
too?
Freemasonry. So as soon as RV tells you and tries to expose other people, it's because, when you point one finger, you got 3 pointing right back at you, RV. So tonight will be a good way to expose you. Yeah, or 4, well, however many. I'm not a mathematician. I didn't come here. I didn't bring my calculator and my pencil and my pocket protector. What I came here to do is expose
That's part of the
RV
ritual.
for being RV false.
I like that name. We've also got Dave Weiss.
RV false.
It's dumb.
And then here we go into the low.
How do you not go RV lies, man? Come on. How do you not go RV lies? I don't understand. RV false. It's ridiculous.
Because they like him. They're actually going to tell you.
Same team.
They have no problem with him and that you should go sub him.
Yeah, David probably was texting them during this podcast.
So here's the logo.
Not David.
stuff.
I mean, Russian Vids was probably texting with David. He said it in his stream. Yeah, we were texting right after.
Dave, the hypnotist, and I don't know why I keep ending up at your Patreon trying to sign up over and over again to be your patron, and for some reason it just keeps telling me I'm already a patron.
You know, it's funny. I signed up for my own Patreon today. Who knew?
Weird.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, I was going to put your logo on the screen, but I realized that people are hypnotized by still images, still logos, just circle logos. They don't move. It's not like it's got concentric circles or anything. No, it's just hypnotized.
It's got the watch in it. It's got the.
He's going to list them off for everybody right now.
Not like it's got concentric circles or anything. No, it's just hypnotized.
It's got the watch in it. It's got the spiral, and then if you look at the spiral, you could imagine a 666 in there. 100%. 100%.
Guaranteed.
There's no denying. No denying this.
No, and it was made that way on purpose. I mean, it was made to look like Saturn, to pay homage to the old Saturn god. And maybe we will bring up your.
It was Jaron made it. They've talked about this.
Your logo real quick, just because I want people to see how hypnotizing this really is. All right, here we go. Let's bring it up. We're gonna
Careful,
cover it.
everybody! If you're driving, pull over.
Careful. Look, that's why we put the warning before there.
Over.
So, I mean, just look at this and realize how hypnotized you can become.
Okay.
You might.
It's a 666. It's a spiral, which we've already identified as a Peter's Files logo, right? It's also a snake. Everything you could possibly add on to this, you can add on to it. But they're just going to tell you it's a hypnotist symbol. And then listen to what they're going to talk about with the symbol on the screen.
Right now, I'll be feeling like you need to buy the app. Slow down. It's probably just a feeling that'll pass. Because look at that. There's so there's no voices that come with the logo.
Hey, not only that,
Not that you can hear.
David, is it true that you got a C in your college?
Got a C. No, this is where Dave is going to explain.
It's also a CC. It's also the CC.
He's going to explain where his education comes from.
College hypnotism class on purpose.
I didn't take I studied outside of college. I studied in college.
Oh, the black arts.
I wasn't.
So you were in a black arts academy.
Yes, that must be it.
Thespian. They were talking over him. He said thespian.
So you were in a black arts academy.
Yes, that must be it.
Exposed.
I did not know that single images like that, like a thumbnail, a circle thumbnail, could hypnotize people. I just guess I've been confused this whole time. And we've got Karen B. Karen, welcome. Are you wearing a tiara?
Right? Ha.
Can't really tell.
I am wearing,
Oh.
actually, this is a crystal crown.
Very witch-like. All right,
Yes.
so we're all playing the part.
I wanted to make sure I had my crystal crown and my crystal balls. You know, I'm all ready
Yes.
to cast all kinds of spells this evening.
I've got my Book of the Dead here. I'm going to pay homage to Aleister Crowley, who RV says maybe is my god, because that makes a lot of sense. I'm sure a lot of people.
Don't forget, I have.
You got a wink there, huh?
Got a wink.
Thanks, Jaron. Why don't you just own it? This is what I don't understand about these people. How can you not just own it? You're trying to own it like backhandedly. Does that make it cooler in their world? Like, I got to imagine someone that's been ordained by Anton LaVey would think this guy's a pompous ass coward, right? How can you not own it? Oh, I've got my Book of the Dead here. Like, own it. Say it with some gumption. Say it with some strength, power. Like, if you want to mind control people into giving you the money, you can't half-ass it, Jaron. You got to put everything into it, like we do, right? It's ridiculous to watch these guys. This is going to be hilarious, you guys. Get ready. Here we go.
Yep. So now Dave's going to talk about how he was using Brian.
A video and it hangs somebody who, look how much, the guy's got 600 and something thousand subscribers. He's gone through multiple channels. He does talk truth constantly. Is he a little bit more pop culture and kind of stuff like that than maybe we are?
Look at what Stein's
pop culture.
Watch.
Oh, this guy is just like gross. He just throws out nothing but like Masonic and satanic symbolism. He's got like horns behind him on the wall. It never ends with this guy. He gets peed on by a cat. This guy, he's just disgusting. I can completely understand why they brought this guy in instead of the Morgul. He's not begging for your couch change, right? He's a step up.
Sure, but who cares? He's bringing people on. Plus, he brought on Dave Weiss. How many times, Dave? 3 or 4?
A couple times. I think 2 or 3.
Okay, 2 or 3
times.
But go ahead.
No, it's like I went on Brian because I could go on Brian and reach all those people.
Right.
I do care about the subs, right? If you've got 1 million subs, I'd love to come on your show. But guess what? I do a lot of shows that have 100.
So he
won't do our show though, right?
No.
The last time I spoke to this guy, they just blocked me and deleted me off the radio station instead of letting me speak my words. That's how free speech and strong and powerful these guys are. As soon as they heard my voice, they just hung up on me because they're cowards. They won't come on. They won't defend themselves. They'll sit in their own little controlled echo chamber of Satanists, and they won't come out and show who they really are. Jaron won't debate us about the AE map. He doesn't even talk AE map anymore, does he? He's just straight up witchcraft and selling you stuff, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
As shit on in the past week, and people that I've seen for the last 6 years that have been Rob Skiba. Anybody who thinks Rob Skiba is a Freemason or works for the CIA is an idiot. They have not done any research.
How can somebody say something so ridiculous? Rob Skiba literally said he worked for the CIA. His own words, right? And then Jaron thinks he can come out here and just say, anyone who believes what Rob Skiba said, you're just an idiot. Like, do you see how stupid it is? Again, I want to make this make sense. You've got the top guy. He just told you who he worships. He winked. Yeah, some people, RV said that Aleister Crowley is my God. He literally said he has the Book of the Dead right there. And now he's going to come here and tell you that Rob Skiba, a supposed Torah believing, they say different kind of Christian, right? He was a Kabbalist. Jaron worships the Kabbalism, same team. I want people outside of this to make this make sense. How is somebody that's promoting Satanism all over the place? We just showed you his own video promoting Aleister Crowley and Satanism. He said, if you don't research this, you don't have any truth, right? It's the same thing. If you don't believe on the death and resurrection of Yahawahashai, the Son of the Living Most High, if you don't believe in that, then yeah, you are going to be destroyed. But he's coming out saying, if you don't read Aleister Crowley, the guy who summons demons for his information, if you don't read that stuff, you don't have any truth. And this is the guy that's telling you, make this make sense. He's telling you Rob Skiba died for real and that you're a retard if you believe Rob's own words when he admitted that he worked for the CIA, right? I'm just setting it up here.
He's going to go full damage control for Rob and do full vouching for him coming up here.
Where are the Christians? Where's Adam Fink? Where's Adam Fink? You've got the head Satanist guy that proclaims Satanism. He does it cowardly, but he does, right? Jason, can you help me make this sense? Make this make sense for me, please.
They're all same team.
How could anyone say that Rob Skibo is someone who fought for the truth of Christianity?
Adam Fink is military, and RV said these guys aren't retired. He says you're an idiot if you think they are.
YouTube channel. They have not seen that the guy does 10 hours of content every week, plus church on Sundays, plus everything else he does. He does long streams with Zen Garcia. Anyway, there's just no way.
To another Satanist who promoted the absolute filth serpent seed doctrine, absolutely skipping the first, second book of Adam and Eve, both of those, and the life of Adam and Eve, and the book of the Cave of Treasures, which all testified to the fact that Cain was born with a twin sister and Abel was born with a twin sister, and they were supposed to switch. That way the DNA, or however it was coded, was to be designed that way. But Cain wanted his own sister because she was older and he felt that she was more beautiful. So he killed his brother Abel. There was no orgy in the Garden of Eden. It's blasphemous. Anyone who promotes that or teaches that is absolutely, completely in contradiction to the word. If you read the scriptures, you will understand. And I held that to Zen, and he just cowered and squibbled and started to say, people attack me because I don't speak the same truth. And you got Zen Garcia, who is a paraplegic. You have Rose, who's a paraplegic. Same team, same stories. I just want to keep pointing these things out. The Church of Satan will do anything to attack you. They will use weak. They will use crippled people. They will use people like Jaron, who's an admitted Bitcoin con artist, who had the FBI investigating this guy. Then he came into Flat Earth, bitch that he didn't make enough money. Met David Weiss, the guy on the screen here. This is the guy who his neighbor before 9/11 bought the house next to him for $30 million. Right? This guy here, David Weiss, he doesn't care about the money. The Satanists, David Weiss is a proclaimed, he says he believes in a God, but he if you ask him what God, he tells, fuck you, he says. You want to know which God I serve? Fuck you, he says. And this is the guy that's out here. They don't care about money. Jaron does, because he's a penny grabber. Jaron just cares about money and getting laid or whatever, being tough, or who knows what he really wants. But I'll tell you right now, all that David Weiss cares about is subverting the truth and destroying anybody who calls themselves a truther, and monitoring you, cashing in on you as much as he can, tracking you. His app just tracks you, apparently. I don't know. We have to look more into that. But anybody that comes to you like David, I would suggest you run. This is the guy that created CGI, where he supposedly had a drone up in the sky and the sun shrank into a tiny dot in the sky. When Jason's got like 3 live streams, one of them you had 3 cameras, and I was re-live streaming your live stream where you completely see the sunset. Jason goes up in the sky, brings the sun back up into the sky, and the entire time it never shrunk at all. Any idiot, any effing bloody idiot can watch a fucking sunset and see with their own naked eyes, David, that the sun does not shrink at all. We actually had photographers document it. And you know what David does? He'll set up a time-lapse camera. So as the sun goes down to set, it diminishes in strength, and you actually see the real size of the sun. Right? But it's all blurred out. It looks bigger. And then he goes on to say that because he believes in the 3,000 mile up sun AE map model fake. Not only does he believe in that, but he tells you there's infinite suns outside of this ring, outside of other rings. And then Jaron will tell you that, yeah, they believe comets are aliens from the outside ring throwing ice chunks at us. Right? Yeah, and this is the guy that it says, these are the guys that tell you the truth is not free. Jaron says truth is absolutely not free.
That time stamp's going.
You should pay for it, right? If NASA's allowed to rip you off, why can't I? This is literally this effing guy's words. But like I said, I would have a lot more respect for Jaron if he just came right out and owned who he was, taught the Aleister Crowley stuff, put it out, show people who you are. Don't cower behind your jokes. Oh, we're going to desensitize them by spamming satanic rituals and satanic numbers. Look at the top left, we got 5:33 p.m. at this timestamp. It's just constant nonsense from this crew. I'm so happy we're covering this. We could probably cover this for days and days and days.
So here, Jaron's going to start really slathering on what a great Christian Rob is.
You could come to that conclusion like he has. Mac, who obviously probably considered RV a friend, and then RV just throws him under the bus the day after he passes away.
Let me say this, but real quick.
Exactly.
We got to bash Mac.
Nah, we were the day after.
Skiba what all this comes down to is, or according to RV's words, is that this is like a Christian truthers versus non-Christian truthers, which is mentally insane.
Christian truthers versus non-Christian. Yes, that is the way it's been divided. Your team's going to do the exact same thing. It's not mentally insane. It's what you're doing right now.
in its own thing. But Rob Skiba was the biggest Christian flat earther. I mean, he was literally the number one.
He wasn't Christian.
Nope. And even Dave knows that. He's like he was a Torah guy.
So for him to come after Rob Skiba, who is, in my opinion, one of the most honorable guys, honorable truthers, worked the hardest, literally. I mean, I don't think there's a guy that traveled into more stuff than he did.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he was a coward, complaining, whining, sniveling bitch at the end of his career, supposedly. He had guys like Adam Fink of the parable of the fig tree. He had Justin Best. He had all these different guys just like, praying. Nathan Roberts, just praying for him.
Rick
you
Hummer.
Can do this. Yeah, Rick Hummer. You can do this, Rob. You're strong. Rick Hummer called everybody. I don't even want to get into Rick Hummer. Roland Reddy, the guy who interviewed Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? Just pay attention. This is Alex. This guy has his business card is an Illuminati card with him on it, right? As an Illuminati character.
Yeah.
That's his card. Doesn't it have pizza slices on it and pyramids too?
I didn't see that, but
yeah. Well,
different
I'm just
card.
saying, we'll see. I don't know.
And put his face out there, actually walked it and talked it. And for him to bash that guy is pretty cowardice, in my opinion.
It is very
Without doubt.
cowardly because he waited until after he was dead. I mean,
Well,
talk
he
about
didn't.
being a
We didn't.
spineless bastard.
Yeah, we were there every step of the way. How about that?
We covered Skiba, we covered Mac. No.
We covered you, Karen.
Like Jaron just said a minute ago, Mac thought that him and RV were friends. And even Mac mentions him in one of his last streams about how he was talking to RV and how he disagreed with the division that RV was causing. And then
Yeah, right.
poor
Mac disagreed with the vision.
dead,
Yeah.
and RV,
Rob's
who's supposed to
dead.
be his friend, like a fucking vulture, like the
No.
next day is just munching
day.
away at his
Munching.
corpse.
Munching
Oh,
it.
he's faked his death. Oh, he did this, he did that. And Rob Skiba, when he's trying
There's
to
the
say that this is
witchcraft.
about Christian and non-Christian flat earthers, what a fucking
weak.
hypocrite.
No, how could anyone who is supposedly a truther that investigates things, right? How could they not look at those two characters suspiciously? Mac, a guy who denied that the Cerveza was real, took the supposed truther anti-Cerveza medicine and dropped dead. And these people here, and then made nationwide news. He was in everybody's home. Flat earther anti-Cerveza dies of Cerveza, right? And just perpetuating that everybody needs to get more things in their whatever that they put them in, right? Snake bites. And Karen B coming out here and flailing, like, how dare they? No, the truth should always be investigated. The truth fears no investigation, Karen. None. Anyone that'll tell you do not investigate anything is an absolute liar. They are a lie. Satanists. That's what they are. They're proclaiming it.
It's impossible to die because if you die and the mainstream media reports it, then it wasn't true. So
Yeah, it's called the repeal. Hang on. There's another thing that you're not going to hear burping out of these big time truthers, these leaders, is the repeal of the Smith-Mundt Act in 2013. Before everything went down, they took away the liability that the media had. So they said in times of war, which they're still in, they're in a perpetual state of war, that the media was allowed to lie, thus leading the enemies away from the truth of what was actually happening. So every single thing you see in the media, I want to say most of it, if not all of it, is all planned and staged, right? That's 100% true. And the reason why these guys are saying that it's not that way is because they're all in the media, all of them, right? They were all in the Flat Earth documentary. At least I don't know if Karen was. There's a good chance Karen was in there. They're not this Alex guy. He's a newcomer, but Bob, Mark Sargent, constantly in the media. Mac was constantly in the media. Who owns the media, people? Who owns it? Kabbalists, tiny hat wearers. They own the media. It's obvious they don't put anything on the TV that's not television programming. This was the first thing that the truthers learned like 10 years ago when it started to become a movement. They learned that everything on the media was a lie. These guys are coming out here literally and telling you, we're the truthers. No, they're telling you that you're all baby truthers. They're coming out here mocking the truth while telling you that, some things on the news are real, especially when it deals with our team dying of Cerveza while we're all here saying that it's fake. Like, how stupid are people really to watch this? Like their own team. I don't understand it.
All right, so this section is thick with timestamps. Let's keep going here. They're going to do damage control that Mac could not possibly be some top level shill.
Acting thing, you got to realize this. There's only about 5 actors people know. There's so many actors that you've watched on TV or whatever, you don't even know their name that you would recognize.
You only know 5 actors, everybody. I'm not a movie guy, but I do know that most people know more than 5 actors.
So for people to think that you're some influential actor that can actually, change the collective consciousness of society, and that Mac is one of them,
right? It doesn't make any sense.
No, it's not insane. We clearly stated and proved and showed the evidence of it. He was repeatedly put in the mainstream media as the flat earther, anti-Cerveza guy who died from it. We called it almost 2 years in advance. We called this guy out, Mac.
Yeah, we were riding the whole thing.
Yeah, and he came on and cried and bitched, "Why are you bothering me? Bother Fauci. Why are you bothering me?" We said, because we know what you're doing. We can see it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the way that the Church of Satan moves. They act like one of you while they subvert everything that you're trying to do. This is it. It's the game is up. The magic has lost its power. Like I said, if these guys don't actually come out and start owning this, it's going to be worse on them where they're going, right? We'll see what happens.
It's mentally insane. You're telling me Mac is the same as like Tom Cruise? No way. Not
No
even
one is
close.
saying
You're
that.
comparing. It's mentally absurd to actually think that.
And that's what we mean by
It's a
don't go
false
full RV,
equivalency.
because I never had a problem.
This is where Jaren's don't go full RV. He's going to try to take away auto hoaxing from the truther community.
Problem with the auto hoaxing, to be honest with you. I'd bring it up with him because I didn't think it was a good explanation for things. When I'd say, well, how do you know this? And he'd say, well, everything on the news. I'd be like, well, okay, we can't really say that. But I let that go. That's not a problem. And when RV and I had problems, remember when...
I'm going to jump ahead a little.
I'll have to let that go, right? Some of the news is real, right? The Ashkenazi, they're telling us some of the truth, right?
Here's more damage control.
His chat up on the screen that are completely false. He doesn't care. He just lets them go. He said things about David that are ridiculous, this ladder thing, things about Karen that are ridiculous, things about Alex that are ridiculous. It's just like he got angry.
Alex pulled out his Freemason card and showed it on camera.
Yeah, I know. It's
angry and just said, I'm just going to throw everybody under the bus. And we're not having it. Why? And again, we're not here to tell you that you need to unsub anybody. Don't unsub anybody. That's on you. You choose who you watch. But I don't have a problem telling you when I am unsub somebody.
Yeah.
So unsub as I do is his message, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jump ahead here a little.
David prancing around with the sun behind his head like that.
Now Dave's going to explain his hypnotic techniques.
And if you want to talk about hypnotic techniques, you say things and then you say a reinforcing statement like, Dave was on the ladder backwards. That means he's a Mason, 100%. Totally agree. You can't deny it. He does actual hypnotic techniques in making a ridiculous statement and then backing himself up like it's a fact.
Do we not have David standing backwards holding a Corona on a ladder
with Rick Hummer that made an Illuminati video?
Yeah, with pizza symbolism in it too, right? Just so you guys know, David literally was on the ladder backwards. He did all that with Rick Hummer, and RV just called it out. Now he's coming out and just stating, well, you're ridiculous for saying that. Like, you don't have any accusations or evidence against me for that. That's basically what he's saying. When literally we have the picture of him doing it, and then you go and look at the Masonic picture of the guys going backwards up the ladder. How stupid are people, man? How dumb? Tell me, how dumb are they?
Anybody that falls for this, pretty dumb.
Thinking that that's what we're saying.
This too, and I mean, this might not vibe a thing, but there are illnesses. Pneumonia.
So this is interesting. This is a manifesting thing where I actually pray for protection against the people that listen to this, because this in my opinion, Fokker talked about it, the manifesting, and now Alex, this guy is crazy gross, but now he's going to go into the same thing.
Is real. People do get the flu. I know people want to say that viruses exist or people don't get sick, but I've been sick. I mean, my own mother got sick. People get sick. There are illnesses in the world, so I don't want to go full. There's no such thing as an illness. If your immune system is fucked up, you are very susceptible to getting ill. That's a fact. So.
I heard a doctor.
All right, so jump ahead here.
Getting on Brian for selling things. They say he's taking advantage of COVID and he's taking advantage of people and getting them to buy things. Look, he's not forcing anybody to buy things, but you go to Richie from Boston's BitChute, and let me bring it up so you guys can see it. And then, I just don't get how do you do this and feel like it's okay? So you've got, this is his, and you just look at every single video, and these are recent. Let's look at, this is November 3rd, November 9th. So these are recent.
Same team.
It's super hypocritical.
They're selling the same stuff. They're the
stuff.
same company. Same company that's on Brian's is also on Richie's. Same team.
Go imagine.
And Jaren's jealous because he's not selling it. Right?
And every
They
one
didn't
of them,
support Jaren.
he has to say, order before you can't.
And
Order
you guys
now.
want to
the
know?
food-
I'll tell you right now, the stuff that they're selling is absolutely disgusting. It's powdered food. It's powdered, right? It's got preservatives in it. It's gross. It's the absolute last thing that you want if there's a shortage of food, right? You need to learn how to hunt. You need to learn how to fish. You need to learn how to grow things. You don't need to store up the supplies, Patriot supplies. The people that are selling you this are ravaging Satanists. It's gross. Look at the contents of the slop that these people, Brian and Richie, and we've called them both out for it and asked why are they selling this stuff. They're supposed truthers, but they can't do the research on what is in the powder. Like, come on, people, grow up.
Who died from the same area on the same exact day. Now, that sounds weird, right? And they just mowed right through it. And he said, oh, even my own research, I was looking up, I couldn't find it. There is nobody named Rob Skiba that died on the same day. There's one that died like a year earlier that's 72 years old. But to just...
All right, so he's going to debunk the coverage of RFB and say, I did my own research, and there is no Rob Skiba that died, even though he's the guy that is saying that Skiba dead is dead.
What about regular Rob Skiba's death? Like, you didn't...
Oh.
Good one, Jerry. Good one.
Let's hear it again.
Right, and he said, oh, even my own research, I was looking up, I couldn't find it. There is nobody named Rob Skiba that died on the same day. There's one that died like a year earlier that's 72 years old. But to just make that up, can you imagine if I just came on the stream and just said, oh, I was doing research earlier and the guy died by Mac Parhar's name, same day, same hospital. And then you guys went and looked and found out I was lying? What should happen? This is the difference. I see people in the chat saying, like, oh, well, you guys have your opinion and RV has his, and it's got... No, there's a difference between having an opinion and allowing lies. I can't stand for.
Yeah.
It's not going to allow RFB to get away with saying that there was a Rob Skiba that died around the same time, right?
No, not the same day. Well, a year earlier when he was 72 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
All staged. Let's jump ahead here. 1846.
Doesn't want to sell masks. I give him every right to, and I don't even have a problem with him doing it, but he doesn't. It's the website, and RV just takes that as 100% he's lying.
Hang on. I want to weigh in on this. What an absolute stupid thing to fight about. Okay, listen. The guy's selling satanic propaganda on these clothing shirts. You look at the symbolism, you look at the coloring, you look at the whole vibe and mood that the greatest patriot proclaimed David Weiss, calling this guy patriot. You look at his channel and he's just mocking the sheep. He's got like Mad Friday or whatever, Friday Madness videos, and he goes to places and just mocks people. It's absolute satanic mockery. They just want to go around making clowns of everybody. They don't care about the sheep. They're the ones selling the stuff because they knew that it was coming and they prepared for it, right? David, absolutely. I would love if we lived in an honest, just world and everybody's like work, what they did with their hands and their minds, if it was all just out in the open to see, I would love to see how much money this guy made off of selling swag for the cerveza bug. Let's be honest here, but nobody wants to be honest, right?
All right, so Jaren's going to go on to talk about when he got married.
Rid of it.
Not that he's just lying. He's an agent. He's an agent who works for the CIA or something, which is just insane to just say with zero evidence. And this is what Brian's problem with RV.
Zero evidence except for Rob's own words.
Right.
Like, how can anyone let this guy just say this?
He's saying you can't just make claims about people being Masons when they're not. Well, guess what RV did to prove that? He went and called me a Mason. Anybody who has seen the work that I've done for 6 years, and you want to pick something out where Patricia Steer...
Jesuit. We've been...
Why?
We've been calling him out for being a Jesuit. Like it's from his own words.
It's on the screen. Jaron isn't the Jesuit right there. He put it himself because he went to Jesuit school. He's never hidden that, but now he admits to being a Kabbalist, Aleister Crowley worshiper. The Book of the Dead. He told everybody at the beginning of the stream. He didn't hide it. I mean, like I said, he didn't own it.
Here and I are joking around. It was on my anniversary, and she goes, "What day is today?" It's 11/11/11. Hey, look, I'm not happy about that day. I wish that it wasn't that day. But again, this is before I woke up. We all have past. Who cares? I got married on 11/11/11. By the way, that's tomorrow. Happy anniversary to me. At least.
And we do have a stream to go through from 11/11 as well. Happy anniversary. So this was Remembrance Day, Veterans Day. It's absolutely Freemasonic, the 11/11. It's the Twin Towers. It's Kabbalism.
At least it's
deal
not
about being married on 11/11.
Oh, it adds to 33. It adds to 33. Therefore, that's what Masons do. They get married on 11/11/11. So it adds to 33, and then they infiltrate into society. And it's just stupid, is what it is.
That's retarded.
It's just stupid, is what it is. I'm going to agree with you on that.
It's stupid. Why would anyone want to not get married in the summertime? It's stupid to be. August, to be specific.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, I sent it to Brian earlier. I think he thinks they're joking too.
I mean, who gives a shit? I mean,
yeah.
What the fuck?
So no,
that's right.
Well, that's because she's a Freemasonic witch.
Yeah.
I just brought up. I'm sharing the picture of me on a ladder. He through my Facebook, all the way back to the conference in Dallas, and he finds that picture of me standing on a ladder. I'm standing on it because there's no chairs, right? So when we went to get beers, Rick Hummer said, "I'm going to go get beers," but the mask mandate was in effect, and none of us wanted to wear a mask. I brought an actual beehive helmet. I put literally a brimmed hat with a beekeeper thing on it, and he wore that in the store. We thought it was the funniest thing ever, and we decided to get Coronas because we're jokesters, I guess, right? And who doesn't like a Corona? And so we took that picture on purpose because we're Masons or because we're jokesters.
Both.
And
both. It's obvious. It's obvious. Or were they just taking the piss?
Taking the piss.
Right. Desensitizing us to it. We're just going to make fun of it. We're going to take the power back, right? We're going to just do it all the satanic symbolism. So that way we can try to make it not powerful anymore by doing it 10 times as much.
So here comes a Karen B. witchcraft rant.
He's never actually made a connection with anybody because he never shows anybody his fucking face.
Right. See, we've all
Nobody
had to get
has
together
ever
and see each
seen
other.
him.
Why didn't you guys
Like,
show it?
The rest of
Hang
us
on.
have seen each.
Is she going to be this big? Show it. Show it. I don't care. Here you go, RV. This is who you are, man. I don't know why you're hiding. Come on screen. Show these people up. If you're real, here it is. How come if these are the great researchers that are fighting this guy, why don't they show it? Put the link in the chat so that people can go and read this yourselves. Polarization Nation was another channel that got into a back and forth fight with Russian vids. Remember, I've been in this truth movement since a long time ago. I already knew who this guy was before Flat Earth, way before. But why is it that if they're not the same team, if this whole fight, that even though Russian vids, Benny says that he texts Dave all the time and Richie texts Brian, why is it that nobody showed his face? We did. We put the link in the chat. There you go. What same team? No, if you want to show you people how you do research, not only that, but Ben P. Lashenko is being also quoted as being similar to Del from Beyond the Imaginary Curve, who we have like a 4 or 5 hour stream going through all his Aleister Crowley, Church of Satan tattoos. And he literally comes right out and says the same thing as Jaron, that if you don't read these books, you're not a truther. He says the exact same line that Mark Passio says. See, the only thing is that Passio, well, Dale owned it. Dale owned it more than Jaron, right? But how come all these great truthers that they want you to pay them for their truth? They want you to pay them. Truth isn't free. Why couldn't they do this search and find who this guy is? Would you think it was hard? It took me 2 minutes on DuckDuckGo to pull this up, but because I remember when the stupid fight happened, right? The Polarization Nation guy ended up getting thrown into a mental hospital supposedly, and he stopped making videos. But Russian Vids got a new channel. He had to wait like 2 years to come back, and then boom, they started bringing him in. This stuff is so easy to find, everybody. Like, are we in a fake reality? Like, what is this? Is this a real fight that these people are having? Nobody was willing to find this link. You couldn't find his links to the Russian connections. His name is Russian Vids, right? I don't understand how we were able to do this, but the team that they're supposedly fighting against couldn't, right? They hate him. He's a bad guy. Where's Tony Starna? How come he isn't exposing both sides right now? Oh, he got a job, right? That guy.
Yeah, he ran out of money.
You're next, he would say, right?
Let's see here. Here she's on her rant.
Each other's face. We've looked at each other's expressions. We've seen the emotion. I mean, there is a real connection there. There's a reason why mothers hold their babies so close and babies can see exactly to their mother's face, because they are learning from the day they are born to read the expressions of their mother's face. And reading facial expressions and talking to somebody face to face is very important. This goes back to this whole masks thing. So you know what? RV, who won't even show his face, and then you're going to go around and talk shit about people who considered you their friend, and then they die, and after they're dead, you stab them in the back of their dead bodies. You're like the scum of the earth. You're the worst human on the face of the planet.
No, you are. You're worse. You're worse.
You're
worse, Karen.
Did you hear of the planet?
Oh, yeah. Play that again. Sorry,
Yes.
You got me.
You're like the scum of the earth. You're the worst human on the face of the planet.
Where to go, Kabbalist witch shill? You couldn't even read your line. You could see her staring at her teleprompter or whatever message system these guys need.
She's gonna do right.
It takes something like Rob Skiba,
But
who's
seriously, what a fucking scumbag, though, right?
That's low.
It's sad.
You're a
Worst in the
bottom
planet,
feeder. You're a
quote
bottom
Karen B.
feeder, dude.
So,
Sad.
he calls us
Dude.
baby truthers, and I think we're all baby truthers. We are learning.
We're not.
You guys.
You guys are. They literally portray themselves as babies. You guys, it's disgusting. I don't know how these people have anybody follow them. I really don't know. Go ahead if you guys want to watch these people. Oh, it's David doing covering his eye there, huh?
Yeah, he's gonna give what the definition of a shill is.
Okay, his version.
Unbelievable.
It's
the
pretty
protection.
sad.
So he tells us we're shills. Well, what is the definition of a shill? Well, a shill will hide behind a funnel. Okay, create division. He puts out some truth and a bunch of bullshit, which we're showing you now, and that it's all bullshit. Tells people
Just by
what
saying
they
it
need to
is.
do, and
That's all they've said.
They haven't shown anything. They've been on camera the whole time. They haven't shown anything.
and then attacks people that are doing good work. I do this just for the money. Everyone knows that's not true. Everyone knows that.
Did you hear how he delivered that?
Yeah, he's a hypnotist, right?
I do this just for the money. Those were his literal words.
And then he backs it up with, everybody knows this isn't true, right?
Doing good work. I do this just for the money. Everyone knows that's not true. Everyone knows that's not true. Okay?
And David, your job is...
So he's doing the hypnotic reinforcement, double statement. He says, I do this just for the money, and then it's not true, it's not true.
hard going on all these shows and talking about a complex subject like flat earth.
Tough.
People,
So
you don't just
complex.
learn this. You have to actually want to put the effort into it. What you do is very difficult. I mean, I'm not trying to kiss your ass, but
you know
He's literally doing that right now.
what,
You know, it's
Alex?
bullshit.
You're right. It is. I love it. I'm getting better at it.
Can I get a
And by the-
pause? I want to play your version. I'm going to turn my mic up here. I want to play this. I just pulled this up. This is a video that you made for ODD. You actually got 5,000 views on this. Here, this is what we call a shill, okay? We've
When
heard...
I call somebody a shill, I want to be perfectly clear what I'm talking about. So under a definition of internet shill, it says an internet shill is someone who promotes something or someone online for pay without divulging that they are associated with the entity that they shill for. It goes on to say shills promote companies, products, public figures, and viewpoints for profit while pretending to have no motivation for doing so other than personal belief. Alternatively, they sometimes denigrate someone or something, such as a political viewpoint or a competitor's product that is in conflict with the entity that they serve. If we look farther down here, more complex internet shill jobs, such as spreading disinformation, are more demanding and may be well paid. Such jobs may be telecommute positions or conducted from temporary offices, which are frequently moved to avoid detection. While this talks about being paid, there is another way to be a shill, and that is to be a part of a secret society where you have sworn blood oaths. In these cases, you are not being paid, but you are still a shill.
Is that clear? Do we have to make that any more clear of what a definition of a shill is?
That's a pretty good definition of a shill right there.
Yeah, it's a lot better than what David said. A shill is someone that causes division. Yeah, partly, right? So everyone just needs to rewind that and listen to what the definition of a shill is.
All right, so he's not done yet, and he's going to bring in some disinformation that we got to bang real quick.
By the way, Darren, you mentioned before, like if somebody's doing something wrong, like selling masks, you call them up. I got a call from Brian Stavely. He's like, "Hey, Dave."
A call from Brian Stavely. There's one of the names.
Wow.
All right, so Brian calls up Dave. Now Dave's going to capitulate to Brian Stavely. Guess what?
You know, we started talking about Polaris. You know that Polaris makes the little circle now, whether it did or didn't before, doesn't matter. It makes a little circle
It
now.
always did, but
He's saying that Polaris makes a little circle.
Again, the only time you see it make a little circle is if you do a star trail photography. If you line a pipe up in your backyard and you point the pipe at Polaris, you can come back any time of the day or the night, or I mean the night, sorry. When you can see it, it'll never move. It'll always be in the center of that pipe. Now, when you have the star trail time-lapse photography, it stitches it together in an odd way, right? The sky is circling above us. The sky is circling. The earth has never been proved to move. Never. They've tried and tried and tried. And you can also point your pipe in the ground towards the southern celestial pole in the sky, which is called the Sigma Octans. And that won't move either, Dave. That doesn't go so well with your Freemasonic AE New World Order pizza flying in outer space model, right? That doesn't work so much because you guys only have one pole, which is Polaris. And guess what? Our compasses don't even point to it, Dave. They point to magnetic north. Not even your Polaris is even at the center of the north. Sorry.
So he's like, maybe you want to just correct that. I love it. Thank you, Brian.
That's awesome. See, and I wrote to Brian today and I said, Brian, I'm not sure that's a Mandela effect. I think that I was taught that in high school. So all that happens behind the scene. We don't call, it's not calling it out. And
but I only did 3 interviews today on new channels. Okay. RV, maybe you did 4.
33
and
34.
And I mentioned that on 2 of them. So it's good, and I'm getting better at this.
No, you're not. You're getting worse. You don't even know or understand flat Earth. It's a dumb shill. Jump ahead here.
Their currency.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Conspiracy Castle is not actually 33, but it's
boy,
CC.
I didn't even.
So he's talking. He's talking about his channel, Conspiracy Castle. It's not Gematria 33, but the CC is 33. So he's letting you know that.
Think of that.
Yeah,
okay.
CC.
Yeah, I thought that
right.
it's just a
come
joke.
On. But dude, everything's CC. Come on, it sounds good. It's ridiculous to say everything is Freemasonic symbolism.
Nah, man.
There is a lot of
You know what you need? You need to get you some TLC. Bro, you can keep your stupid Freemasonic CC33s. The real people that want the truth, they're going to come to the TLC.
All right, so Jaren's bringing up the Gematria calculator. I think this is the same one. It's in the animated thumbnail that we're using tonight, but Richie is 33.
Richie's last name, yeah.
And guess what?
Campanella is 30. Oh, Jake Gibson's coming in.
All right, so we have the 4 guys that are going against this team.
Yeah.
RV, Richie, Jake, and Zoom. And two of these guys, Jake Gibson, he's the 33. And the other one was, Comito, right? Comito.
Richie Comito. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Symbolism, but
don't get us wrong. We're not saying there's not symbolism.
Yeah,
we're not saying that at all. But
Get it. Good. Finish up, Jaron.
I'm done.
All right.
Nah, you're not done. We're just starting.
Jump ahead to 3056.
I wonder if it bothers them that somebody went along and documented everything they did. I wonder.
Yeah, well,
Mac didn't like it. We know that.
They hate it.
He's doing everything he can, and to say that he's gatekeeping because he's not, he's not going full out with it. That's ridiculous. He's doing more than other people. Many channels don't even want to touch it because they're afraid. So let's give everybody a little break. We were all there. I shadow banned people from my social media for mentioning flat Earth. All right, I told the story a million times.
Yeah, he was a jerk. He was an absolute jerk to people like me and other truthers that were saying, "Hey, Dave, it's not just about the big three, Sandy Hook, Boston bombing, and 9/11. There was actually the truth of the shape of our reality." And he was just an absolute. He's a Kabbalist shill. Of course, he's not going to believe the Earth is flat. These people all believe that it's a sphere. Karen B said that Russian Vids is the worst person on the planet. Right? This person is your new flat Earth conference organizer. She's the head honcho. And she doesn't even, you hear the slip of mind. Russian Vids is the worst person on the planet. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, these people don't think the Earth is flat. It's a joke to them. They're Kabbalist Satanists. They tell you they are.
But just wait. So now RV is going to be shown to promote the AE Mappa model, which is their team.
Well, hey, I want to say this too. He gets mad at you for not having the biblical cosmology model of flat Earth, which is ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I'm just saying we know the ball doesn't curve at 8 inches per mile square.
Jaren's logo is a ball now. Look at it.
But for RV to tell you that he
Jaren's logo is an absolute sphere ball Earth, right? You don't have all the continents. That's not even a continent on his map. It's a ball. Does anyone else not see that it's a ball Earth with curvature and the way that the land masses are all angled? If he's trying to promote that that's some sort of flat Earth map, y'all are retarded. This guy straight up is a Kabbalist shill. They need their spheres inside of spheres inside of spheres. That's what their witchcraft teaches them, right? They're all wrong. They got it all wrong. The demons that tell these people things lie to them. That's all they're going to get is lies. This guy will not. But again, Jason, you brought up a shill is someone that is also a member of a secret society group that swore a death oath to lie, right? Here they are.
Exactly knows the model of the Earth, and he knows what the firmament is, and for him to say that is so ingenuine because we don't know what the sun and moon and stars are. We have a lot of ideas. I'd like to think the stars are our souls, and I don't know what the sun and moon is. I know it's not a dusty rock, but this guy tells it to you like it's a fact, and that's bullcrap because nobody has any idea. So he's being like NASA when he's like, "Oh, we know that it's in the firmament because it says in the Bible." Give me a break, RV. You don't have any idea. You just are theorizing.
Tell me who's
RV is also an opportunity.
So RV promotes the Freemason New World Order AE Mappa model. That's what these guys promote. Now it's Jake the asshole who's come out and shown that it's impossible, like we have, not with as good of proofs as we've used, but he has come out against it. Let's go ahead to 35. 28.
Okay, I could play the quote. I could play the video of him. But at the beginning of his podcast, he goes, we need to separate the Christians from the non-Christians. Okay,
right? Division, right there.
Division. He's like, we need to separate, the Christians from the non-Christians. The ones that follow the RV Bible or not. It's hypocrisy.
That's literally what they're doing.
Yeah. So you either go with us or you go with RV, and you have to follow the RV Bible. Those are the only two options that this team is offering.
Yep.
See,
and the only people
ridiculous.
The only people that will follow RV going forward is Christians. I mean, that's
also RV is a Christian that says that he's a vegan. He constantly uses the name Jesus, right, and God. And he's known, just like all these people we've been talking about tonight. We've been talking to these people for years and years and years, telling them the same thing.
Known to be military and a Mason.
That's right.
It's just because
wait, hold on. Not all Christians.
No. I wasn't saying that.
I wasn't want to hear everybody, every girl,
not
every
all
famous
Christians
girl is
follow RV, but all RV followers are Christian.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Yes. Yes, exactly.
He read the line wrong, right? He screwed it up. Oops.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The people that want to like do a trans investigation of Ivanka Trump or whatever, those are the people. There's still going to be, people that like RVs, goofy.
So these are truthers literally using the mainstream media debunks of people against their own truthers. Yet they wouldn't show his face or reveal who he is or anything like that, even though they're supposedly hate him. Right?
Voted for Trump. Like he just
give me a break. And I know voting's ridiculous, but this is another thing too. Is I consider, and this sounds pretty kind of gay.
Whoa.
It's getting late. I don't know.
But what we're doing is entertainment, conspiracy entertainment, like WWE.
Huh?
He's gonna hate that. He's gonna say, "Oh, we're shows," but we're trying to make content that you want to watch. It's like, give me a break for trying.
Who the hell?
It's like, give me
a break. You make a good point, brother. We're not even through this first Jaren stream. We've got another Jaren stream.
Lots more.
We've got Zoom. Maybe we'll keep this going tomorrow.
Sure, why not? I don't see why not.
Yeah.
We can definitely, yeah. So it was fun. I enjoyed going through it. There was some, stuff that needed to be aired out. We're going to continue to air out the stuff. It's ridiculous. I really don't understand how any of this is even happening. You had that one guy saying he was real, Scott Thomas. He was, I'm not a shill. He was saying I'm real. Like I don't know how much more obvious this needs to be. The team that we're looking at here on the screen now, they're with the same team all night. They're all affiliated with each other intrinsically. So I'm just glad we were able to get started on this.
Yeah, well, it was a big chunk to chew off, and we made a pretty valiant run at it. We got through quite a bit. I didn't know how long it was going to take to get through the timestamps. We've got some left, so maybe we save that for tomorrow and keep going on the same topic. But I hope this benefits people. I hope you see that this whole thing was the cause to create a division, which we're fine with, because the Antichrist people, the people that are going to deny a creator, the one from the Bible, they've isolated themselves into a specific group, and now they're saying that RV or Effed Up World or Nathan Roberts or Robbie Davidson, these are the Christians you're allowed to follow because they don't call out Satanists, and they're all fake flat earthers. They all promote the impossible model. So you're allowed to go that direction as a Christian. What we're showing everybody is that we overstand all of these people, that we've been calling them all out as same team all along, and we're doing it again right now. So you follow either one of these sides, and it is a path to destruction. You're following Masons. You're following Aleister Crowley, Church of Satan
members.
Absolutely. So,
yeah.
Well, thank you. Anything else you want to add, brother?
No, just everybody take care tonight, and always, I pray in the Father's name, Yahawah, that none of their witchcraft has any power over us. It's absolutely weak. It's a joke. It's nonsense. The only thing that has power is the truth, right? And what you give your power to. So everybody, just take your power back. Okay, trust and have faith in the Father, the Creator of spirit and breath. Trust in Him. Okay, these people, if they don't repent, they'll have to deal with what they have to get. Right? We know what we're offering. We're offering eternity, right? Life in paradise for eternity. That's what we're offering, and that's through the belief in the death and resurrection of Yahawahashai, right? That's the ancient Paleo Hebrew name for Christ. So that's the way that we go. And also, we still want to try to do good things too. We don't just want to say that. We want to show our actions. And that's why we come out here and speak the hard truths and stand against both sides. We don't hold any punches. We're not sneaky. We're not trying to sell you anything. Again, everyone just pay attention, do your own research. Don't trust Jason and I. Definitely don't trust Jaren, but go ahead, go to Rockfin, watch his stuff. We're not trying to stop anyone from watching anything. Actually, the more people that are intelligent can see through this stuff, we wouldn't, if there were other people calling this out, we wouldn't have to, right? We could be making other content, but unfortunately, no one else is willing to do it. And the people that are, we have to bring them up because they got all this gross stuff attached to them. So someone's got to stand out on not on any of this team's side and show you guys the truth. And that's just why I'm thankful that we had this time together tonight. Thank you, brother. And that's it for me, man.
All right. I'm going to end us with our intro. Where did you hear this, brother?
Can you break your crumbling idols and push them pieces into the sea? Can I trust you to keep my secret? I have loved in the face of God.
I didn't take I studied outside of college. I studied in college.
Oh, the black arts.
I wasn't.
So you were in a black arts academy.
Yes, that must be it.
Exposed.
Guess I've been confused this whole time. And we've got Karen B. Karen, welcome. Are you wearing a tiara? I can't really tell.
I am wearing, actually, this is a crystal crown.
Very witch-like. All right,
Yes.
so we're all playing the part.
I wanted to make sure I had my crystal crown and my crystal balls. You know, I'm all ready to cast all kinds of spells this evening.
I've got my Book of the Dead here. I'm going to pay homage to Aleister Crowley, who RV says maybe is my God, because that makes a lot of sense.
And this is